Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy New Year's, man. We got a big panel tonight. Got a lot of people here. We're going to be kicking in the new year with some interesting topics, some questionable figures that have been recently released, and we can't wait to get to it. So let's go ahead and go right now. All right, dude, what is going on, everybody? Look at this amazing panel of people here today. I can't believe we're all here on a Monday. It's so cool that this worked out. Real quick, I'm just going to go through everybody and say what's up. Toku Collector, what's going on, Sean? How you doing tonight?
How's it going, guys?
We got Mario, a.k.a. El Professoro, up in this house. What is cracking, brother?
Hey now, yo, it's good to be back here with you, man.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. I'm so excited today, man. And we got Dr. Will Foxy Love up in here.
Oh.
You got that red background and everything.
Yeah,
man.
bro. Went full Sith, bro. Full Sith.
I'm
bro.
so glad,
Always.
dude, that you're finally able to get on here, man. We've been trying forever.
Thanks for having me, man. And you know, it's partially because I'm here on a snow day today. So, you know, and I'm here. I got to meet Sean, so this is exciting. I met everyone else here on the panel, so dude, it's gonna be a blast. You assembled an Avengers level squad here, Anthony.
Avengers squad. Look, I've got the Infinity Gauntlet behind us, bro. All right?
You got the Infinity Gauntlet of panel members right now.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
But with great power comes great responsibility. So I trust you.
Hey, don't say that shit. Someone's about to get fucking taken out. So, you know, anyway.
Don't you dare
Desi,
kick
man.
Mario out of this panel.
No, no. Oh, Mario. He'll be back. Desi, Metamorphic Customs. What's up, buddy?
Thanks, Anthony. Good to be here, man. I'm having actually a pretty good day, so looking forward to
that's nothing to complain about, man. It's always good when we have good days, man. So I'm glad you're here. John, same. You're here early, buddy. What time is it for you, man? I'm glad you were able to make it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's just after 7. Just after 7.
So early morning. That,
yeah.
Let me say,
man, that's nothing for me.
Before I get to my smooth brother, we're gonna take 1 second. Look at that Captain America.
What's up?
Yeah.
Look at that,
That
man.
is a badass pose, bro.
Yes.
This is from Take Your Position yesterday with me, Lael, and Brendan. We did this.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah, so I was just
It's
playing. I thought I'd bring
freaking
him on
sweet,
because
bro.
Nice.
he's staying
man.
on my desk.
Yeah.
Like you
So
joined
you
into the
can pose your
stream,
cap.
and I seen Cat before I saw you. So I mean, you know what I'm saying?
That's the
Like,
point. I can hide in the back. And then
yeah. So amazing job. Last but certainly not least, brother Cousins. What's cracking, brother?
What's up with you, brother? Thank you so much for having me, man. This is great. This is an Avengers level panel we got here. Damn, we got some heat on the panel tonight.
Dude, we got some heat here from all walks of life. We got a few things to get into, but before we do, as always, let's go ahead and address the chat. We have Primetime Reviews,
What's going on?
Toku Collector, who's here with us. Max's Geekdom's here. What's cracking, bud? Iron Logan's also on us. Three Dudes Mashups, dude. What's up, guys? Really need that Boba 2-pack to come out ASAP.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all do. 100%. I can't wait. Bob Dylan's up in the house, as always. What's cracking, Bob? Riley Ramirez, collector number 1. Who else do we got up in here right now? AJ, hey, what's going on, man? Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you as well, man. It's been a pretty good day so far. Minus, I guess you guys, right? You guys are snowed in, but
Yeah.
not too bad, huh? Rammstein also here. Fabio, hey, what's going on, man? Tukathri up in this house. Great panel. Hey, Tukathri, thanks a lot, man. I'm glad you're here. Emmanuel's also here. What's up? My boy's happy to make it. Hey, we're happy that you can make it too, bud. And finally, we've got, I don't know how to say your name, so we're just going to say 1-6, man. What's up, everyone? What's cracking, bud? I'm sorry. I just don't want to butcher names here. So, you guys had a good weekend or what?
Yeah.
That's what I want to start with. I want to know how you guys' weekend was in New Year's.
Yo, everything was good, man. Except now it's snow. I mean, I like the snow, but you know, you guys don't have to experience that where you are. So it's just me and brother Cousins right now.
Yeah. I opened up the door today and it was like 2 feet of snow. I was like, I'm not going to work.
Yeah, I opened up 2 feet of snow. I was like, back to bed then. And just go start the day over.
It was like totally unexpected.
Yeah.
I wish it was the opposite for us. See, so you guys will get snowed in, and what we get is like massive heat temperatures, but they don't. That ain't shit. They're like, well, you still got to go to work. It's hot.
Right.
You know
Put on all the deodorant you want. You're going to work.
150 every day. What you talking about? Come on.
Yeah.
I know. They're like, you have air conditioning in your car or whatever.
Like,
you know what I'm
here's
saying?
a bottle
Like,
of water, you're good to go.
Right, exactly. That's why I don't know how John does it, bro. Living in Australia, like, I don't know, man.
It's hot down here, man.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's hot. That's right. We find.
I think
a
you're
way.
about equal as us, man.
Yeah, that's
It's hot.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Mario, how
Yeah,
warm is it there in Cali right now?
We're like about 60 degrees right now. It's a little bit on the cooler side. I mean,
That's cool.
It's
for you
been-
guys.
well, for us, it is. Hey, man.
For us,
we're,
that's like
you know,
beautiful weather. Brother,
Right.
We're tropical folk down here, man. Anything
Yeah.
below like freaking 60 is like, holy shit, you know?
It's winter.
Actually,
Yeah,
used-
that's how it is
used
with
to-
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're used to like freaking like 75, 80 degree, clear sunny skies, man. You know, palm trees swaying. It's nice, man. But
Damn.
shoot, I mean, like at later at night when it's hitting like 40s, oh my god, forget about it. Horrible.
Well,
out
let's see
here.
how crazy Merlin is. Yesterday, it was like, wasn't it like damn near 60?
Yeah, it was like 60 some degrees. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now,
And then
it's
now
just
you guys
snow
are
everywhere.
buried
There's
in
like 10
snow.
feet of snow on the ground. Yeah. Or 10 inches. Sorry, not 10 feet. 10 inches.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no, here it's like, I'm the same with Mario. Like, I think it's, my weather on my computer says it's 67 outside.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Nice, isn't
But
it?
dude, then we hit like 115, 110 most of the year.
Oh,
So this
yeah.
doesn't last.
I
You
think
know what I'm
I'd
saying?
stay where we're at, brother cousins. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gets
I'm
very humid
96
here in Maryland. Very
I'm like
humid.
97 degree. I'm like 97 degrees Fahrenheit today here.
Oh.
I think for what it would be for you guys.
Yeah, but what time is it there for you right now?
Yeah,
though?
right. That's
7
7
in the
Give,
a.m.
give a little
7 in the
substance.
morning. 7 in the
Exactly.
Primetime Reviews is 23 where he is.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Where's he at?
Yeah.
It's 71 here in Miami. It's been a nice day.
That's pretty good, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Hell yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot, man. Yeah, that's why a lot of people are getting sick here. Lots of shift in weather. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, man. My bones are feeling it. I've been complaining the past 2 days, man. I'm like, oh, my legs. I'm having a hard time walking.
That's what happened to me New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we all getting that age.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Well,
yeah.
we just went through our New Year's. We just went through like what 3 days of like 40 to 44 degree weather, and then it just went right back up to 66. So
Wow.
we've been having some like really cold, and then right back up to our normal weather patterns. It's just
Yeah.
weird this weekend.
Totally weird. 16 in New York, the collector says.
Ooh.
Damn.
That's probably about what it is for us
36
in
in
Maryland.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I think, and brother cousin, it's supposed to like freeze over tonight, so I don't think the roads are going to get much better tonight.
Yeah. I was shoveling today. I was shoveling the sidewalk with my man, and my neighbor was looking at me like, why?
It's gonna go right back.
It's going to be like 18 degrees tonight, so yeah, it's going to be
Right. It's like that
Yeah,
guy
that's
trying
rough.
to like you know that meme where he's like digging the sand out of the beach. Like
Right.
it's just like, why are you doing it, man? Like, but I get it. Like I
Now we
totally
understand
get it.
Anakin so much better.
Hell yeah, dude. So you know what? Let's just get right into this one because you guys brought it to my attention today. That we have a review unboxing already of this Wonder Woman. And I haven't gotten to take a look at it yet, but I figure we can go ahead and pull it up and kind of we can skim through some of this. So we saw the initial photos, right? And you guys have watched. How many of you, first of all, have gone through this video?
I kind of skimmed through it earlier today.
Just kinda skimmed?
I watched it.
Because I was
skimmed
thinking
through
about
it.
skimming. Like I have it running right now. It's muted, so you know we can kind of talk. But I mean,
Look at that.
initial thoughts of the I mean, like in hand. I mean, what are you guys thinking? It looks like he wasn't, from what I skimmed through. Looks like you were saying he's kind of afraid, like he's gonna break it.
It felt like it, yeah. That's what people told me. I was same as Mario. It's a 48-minute video, so
Yeah.
that's kind of why I was like, oh man, I got to skim through this a little bit,
Yeah.
because he does such
Yeah,
a great
it's-
job. Regan
Yeah,
does.
he does.
Regan,
He's really good at
Regan?
describing everything.
Yeah,
Like,
he does
really
such a
goes
good
in
job
depth.
with his reviews, but just it's
Especially
so
with the
long.
articulation. He goes in on the articulation.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
exactly. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
scroll
but
a little
now here-
further because I was the same way trying to look at the sculpt, but he kept putting his finger in.
Right, he's putting his
Yeah,
hand
Then
there.
I was like,
Yeah.
you have to keep scrolling a little bit further. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
he was
Yeah,
showcasing
nope.
articulation. Yeah,
Nope, that's,
Yeah,
still
that's
the
what we're
finger.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a bad spot to look at.
But you know
'Cause
what?
this
The
is like-
sculpt doesn't look that bad.
Man, I'm telling you, I think it looks
really
alright.
good. Yeah.
I like it.
So
It's not like
the
the prototype,
panel's
but-
just divisive on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just still
okay.
looks
Something
so
Barbie
kind
is
of.
white light
divided.
too.
Yeah.
She
So
does
here's a
give you them
side
Barbie
profile.
vibes. That's the thing. I get.
It's
I
the
get.
hair.
Yeah, it's that.
Yeah, it's definitely the hair that gives it that Barbie feel to it.
Yeah, I'm thinking. But you know what? The outfit. See, this is what I'm worried about. I know right here this
Yeah.
is dust, but
That's one gets
this
scratched.
immediately I start in my brain. I'm like, is that chipped?
Yep.
And then I start thinking, is this thing going to get chipped easily? You know, and then it just starts
Wouldn't
running,
doubt it.
and you're like, I don't even know if I want to take the chance. You know,
I'm more worried of not
personally.
just the chipping, but just the paint like rubbing off because
Like that.
those layers are so close to one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of I think we already said this, but it kind of reminds me of the old Captain America shield. I remember. I think I had a sticker that got stuck on it by accident, and then there goes your paint done. So it
Yep.
Right.
kind of
Done.
looks the same type of way. Like
But is this electroplated or? Because I think that cap.
I don't
shield
think
was.
so. The original one was electroplated, but I thought they steered away from that process
Yeah.
completely just because of their experience with the cap shield.
Yep.
So I
I
wouldn't
think
Yeah.
it did,
so.
so I'm hoping this is just a layer of metallic paint or chrome metallic.
Well, it looks
I'm
amazing.
hoping.
it looks good.
It definitely
looks-
pops for
Yeah.
sure.
It pops. Okay, look, I think the armor looks great, but here's the thing, man. Like this picture right here, if this was sitting on my shelf, I'd sell it. like I'm just being realistic. If this is how it was posed on my shelf, and I know he hasn't posed it, but he put some of it on. He's moved around. I don't know, man.
Is it the square in the middle of the head? Is that what-
It's a square.
That square is, yes, I
I,
don't.
I think it to me like we all said, it's the hair. Like her hair looks like maybe just the lighting looks very greasy. It's almost like Gal didn't take a shower for a week or something. Like that's what it looks like. And also
Yeah.
it looks like a mess. Like you have to style it to make it look good. So, but if you put the helmet on her, it looks fantastic.
That's
Oh, it
looking
looks-
better.
absolutely.
So like
That
you put
looks
the helmet on her, it's golden. So if that's the reason, literally golden, I didn't intend for that.
Really, right?
But like, but if you put the helmet on her, then I'd see no reason to get rid of this figure. If that's what you wanted all along, then great. But I think a lot of people got this for both, like to display it both ways. And
Yeah.
I would
think we
be
gotta-
personally, I'd be very upset if I pre-ordered this. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
It's
I think
Now-
you got to remember that the other Wonder Woman, the classic one's going to have sculpted hair. So this one,
Yeah.
I think they've done the rooted hair because of the helmet, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
so you
guessing
can
that's
take it on
why.
and off.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
if you
yeah,
get- if
yeah.
you
Because
want
like I
the-
said, you wouldn't be able to root it or sculpt it. It just wouldn't
No.
work with the armor.
So I think that's probably a manufacturing choice to do that. And then if you want the sculpted hair, you get the other one.
How did they
That's
somehow
probably
do it
their
with
plan.
Loki though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with Loki Endgame, they did it. And
yeah,
then Loki Avengers.
Well, her hair's a lot longer. You know what I mean? Her hair's a lot longer.
yeah.
yeah.
Tukathri saying super fragile. He did break it, and it
Oh,
had
wow.
paint chips.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Simon,
Yeah, I
I
think-
watched today. It looks pretty damn good. A black piece came unglued during articulation.
I think this is going to be one of these situations where it's pretty if you don't touch it and don't handle it.
Mhm.
Right. Exactly.
I really
Look
think
at it
that's what it's
wrong.
gonna
Don't
be.
touch
What's
it.
up, Dan?
Yeah. What's cracking, guys? Six
That's
Scale
funny.
Reviews up in here. How you doing, bud?
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know, right? That is kind of yeah. Oh, and he also said it rubs off on the boot towards the end of the video.
Damn.
Oh,
I'll have to
Not
break
good.
out the nitro gloves for this one, Bob Dylan. Yeah, I don't.
Mhm.
This is a tough one, bro. This is a tough one.
Very
This
divisive.
is a tough one. Hey, look who
I would
we got
also
up in
say
this house.
one person's figure is not going to be indicative to how they all are. I mean, the same thing with Venom. I haven't had any issues with Venom, and I've
Right.
put him through the bloody ringer. You know what I mean? So
Right,
it's
exactly.
probably
Me
going to be
too.
one of those scenarios that you've got to just, some people are going to have no issues, and some people are unfortunately going to get ones that, quality control. It just is what it is.
That's true. That's just a little disappointing that if he's already just taking it out of the box and he's getting chipping issues
Yeah.
and things coming off and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's horrible.
Yeah. Real quick, Dante, man of Hot Collectibles, what's cracking, bud? Hey, he says, hello, everyone. Nice panel tonight. This figure needs more neck, in my opinion. Definitely a decline from the prototype based on the early picks and reviews. Not sure about the paint, though. Have a feeling we'll have issues. I'm guessing what is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
needs to borrow a little bit of the Pennywise neck.
It's true, man.
Yeah, right. I know. It's just so I don't know. I mean, like I said, I just wanted to do a quick, glance over with that one because, like you guys, brought to my attention that video's up now, so it's kind of cool to get to see, because like you said, those product photos, man, you don't know, right? I mean, even even between the difference of the prototype and the final product, a lot of those final product photos were just, I don't know, I don't want to knock on the photographers, but some of it's, the lighting's off or the angle's off, or some of the lights, it's like blown out, and I don't know, but I'm with you, Will. I think I would be disappointed if I bought this. And that's what I
wait till you see someone who does someone like Lael. He'll do the hair really well, and then you watch what people think about when they see it done with the hair done nicely, and then you'll be like, oh damn, I think it actually does look good.
I think the prototype. I mean, the prototype just is what sold it and got a lot of people excited about it. It's not. I'm not going to say it's not close to the. I don't know. I would say from the prototype, it's about 50% there. I don't know, but it does look better in hand. But the fact that it's already chipping and peeling, and I really wish they gave us two head sculpts. It really should have been two head sculpts. One helmeted head sculpt and one just regular with the hair head sculpt.
Sculpted hair, you think?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that would have been better off. But
well, and I mentioned this last night on Will's stream, is that I think because the movie wasn't very well received, I don't think they necessarily wanted to put in the effort.
Yeah.
To do, like a second sculpt
DC after all, yeah.
Yeah, and so.
And it's sad because I felt the same. They did the same thing with the TV series Flash figure. That figure was probably like a little, maybe 3 or 4 years too late. I'm still doing a review on that. I got to put that out. It's a great figure, but it's one of those things where they kind of rushed it out the door. If they would have put a little bit more work into it, I think it would have been something spectacular. But because, like you said, the property isn't hot anymore, just like the Wonder Woman movie kind of like wasn't that good. They kind of just got this out the door knowing that people wanted it because they wanted that Kingdom Come vibe. So they just got it out the door and okay, move on to the next.
It's interesting though. Sorry, Anthony, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting though because that's such a good theory and I agree with it most of the time. But then you look at the sequel figures, right? I mean, you look at Rise of Skywalker, which I love Rise of Skywalker, but a lot of people hate it, right? And Hot Toys wanted to be done with the sequels, clearly. And I think a lot of people did. And Rey and Kylo turned out great. So they turned out even better than the Protos. So, I don't know. I agree with you, Brother Cousins, until I just thought of that. And I was like, well, maybe not. Because and Wonder Woman, even though she is DC, she is a very recognizable character. They've made a lot of Wonder Womans.
That's true.
She's
much
part of the Trinity.
Yeah, I mean, she's she's on the level of Batman and Superman, maybe a notch below, but she's right there. I mean, so even though the movie sucked ass, I mean, it's I don't know. It's hard to say what went wrong with this one. I think it's just the hair. I mean, honestly, but it's what does the Foxy say? There we go. So I would say that this is I don't mean to deviate to this, Anthony, but the question to me is how much of a decline should we accept from proto to final? I remember we were having that discussion last night, right?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what's interesting because you're going to get people all over the spectrum. Leia was like, well, people's expectations are too high. And that's a lot of people feel that way. And then me, I kind of feel 10, 15%, maybe because if you're dropping more than 15%, then don't advertise the proto at all because you're just gonna you're inevitably asking for problems because look what happened with Tony Stank, right? Same kind of deal. Or Ant-Man was never shown though, he was blurred, but same kind of principle, right? You show that proto of Wonder Woman was a mini J&D.
It was.
It was it was
looked phenomenal.
Yes.
And then you get this, which is still, it's not terrible, but that proto was so good, you're gonna piss people off either way. So don't show it if you feel like it's not realistically getting close to that, because
I think that's just sales, Will, man. That as a business, they're selling you, and that's marketing.
But it's I guess we always think of that though. No, and John, it's funny. When we do the preview videos and talk about them on the live streams, we never once say hey, just keep in mind, this is not what you're going to get. We always this looks amazing. We're going to pre-order this. Who's going to pre-order this? Blah, blah, blah. We never once say when it drops, we never say, oh, well, just keep in mind, it's going to be lower. We don't really think of it that way. And like you said, it is sales. Yeah. Maybe we should start to do that.
I think we should. Yeah.
Because
and then I think it's some
prototype pictured.
Right.
That's why that
it does say slight difference, but they should probably remove the word slight because sometimes it's more than slight.
But what's crazy, like you said, Will, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. I'm done. You go ahead.
Yeah, some things, sometimes they knock it out. And I think you kind of hit on that on your stream last night.
Cap.
Where it was Cap knocked it out the park. Who else? Yondu completely knocked it out the park. So it's just weird. Killmonger, again, I think.
Killmonger.
I think
Rey, Kylo, all these figures.
They knock them out the park. So it's just what happens during that process is some people they can just get, and other likenesses they just struggle with. It's weird.
Yeah, it blows my mind, and I don't know if it's because they're not a fan of a property, you know, like specific, like certain sculptors perhaps, or you know, and I know it sounds weird, but it's something to factor in, right? Because there are other companies who are very passionate about said figures or you know or licenses, and they understand them. So I think they may take more care, and you know, and I'm not trying to criticize those who work on this, but I think that could be a factor as well. If they don't know the you know, they don't know it, right? So they're just kind of doing their work and they just get it done, and then they move on to the next thing. Does that make sense? Where some of them they nail it.
I don't think that's the case in certain aspects, like the prototype. Like the sculptors sculpted the prototype. It was fine. It was perfect. It was like J&D, like Will said. But then it's naturally going to get softer when you go to tool, right? So it's not like a J&D or a statue prototype where the molds are silicone. These are steel molds, so you're going to lose a little bit more of that detail. It's going to get a little softer. So yeah, that's still true. But look at somebody just mentioned on the screen right now, Ninja Squirrel, Midas.
Yeah,
that's an Iron
this
Man.
is an interesting point
as far
that I
as
wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Because he's saying here, yeah, with the Midas paint chip, the gold paint notoriously bad for flaking on such iconic figures, and at the price, shouldn't Hot Toys seal it with you know, maybe some type of sealant to prevent it? Is that not too much to ask for $350+ And that's interesting that you bring that up, Ninja Squirrel, because that's kind of a topic that we're going to talk a little bit on later in the stream. So we'll come back on that one. But it's absolutely weird that like you guys are saying, like that prototype sculpts fire. So it's like
so good.
What happens?
Well, kind of like what Desi was saying, is once you go from prototype to tool or just mass production of set prototype, you're gonna lose some quality of what that original one was supposed to be. Yeah. So I mean, like every time when you look at a prototype sculpt and you say that's perfect, keep in mind anywhere you'll lose anywhere from 10 to maybe 20-25% quality of what you're seeing in the prototype photos. So I think that's what happened here. Is it still looks good, but it doesn't look as good as the prototype just due to manufacturer flaws that just happen in the business.
I think in the prototype too, the hair was done a lot better, and I think the hair adds to the look of the face. So when you're seeing the face without good looking hair, I think you notice it more. I don't know, like, because when I look at the prototype, the hair looks amazing, and I think that does when you're looking at the overall face picture, how we see faces, right? That plays a big difference. And I think is that detracting from the look of the detail on the face? Because the hair isn't like what we're seeing the prototype. Like if the hair was done the same as the prototype, would we be noticing as much? Because I mean, you're saying the percentage drops, but Cap was better than the prototype. Like
right.
And there are figures that come out that are better than the prototype. So they've gone to tool and they would have made thousands of this. So for them to uphold the quality on something that they're producing like that, why is it happening for some and not others? Or is it just that the fact that the hair is, I think we need to see someone do the hair like they did the hair in the prototype and then put them next to each other and see what that looks like. So if anybody out there has it or can do it, show us.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. I mean, because like in that video that we were looking at right there, when she had her helmet on,
she looked good.
She looked a lot better.
Yep.
Yeah. Still wouldn't say she was like how she should be compared to the prototype, but she looked a lot better. So I think you're right on that one, John, because the hair is not there, barely, so you're really, so with the hair, because when the hair is crazy, you're not really seeing the face, right? You're like, oh, what the hell? That looks something's off. But with the helmet covering it, and then your eyes focus more on what you're actually looking at, which is the sculpt, and it looked a little bit better there. But overall, I don't know. I mean, we can move on from it, but just real quick, just so I know, I mean, are any of you guys actually picking her up?
If I get her, I'm probably going to get the regular version, and I don't know if that's going to be something I'm going to rush and get. It'll probably be something from Sideshow, or I mean, I do like looking at that video. It does make me kind of feel a little different about it, but I am still kind of butthurt the fact that it's just not that sculpt that we like, and we talked about it. It's like you're not going to get those top 10 sculpts all the time, and that's just that's just what it is. Right. But she did look better with the helmet on, and to see that I am interested to see somebody really put some work into the hair and how it would look. But definitely it ain't going to be like the big wingspan version. It'll be the standard version.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I'll be getting the other one. I probably won't be getting this one, to be honest. I'll get the other one.
No.
Yeah.
JD's wondering
anymore.
real quick, if any thoughts on Jango Fett. And actually, yeah, we are going to talk about him in a little bit, as a matter of fact, because I'm looking forward to that. With that said, if we're not, I'm not picking her up either, but it's only because I don't have any DC. You know, because I'm in the same boat as like Lael, as we talked about last night. If I got her, you know, or if I was into DC, I would, you know, if I had the collection, I would get her, just because it's a Kingdom Come style, the Alex Ross. I dig that, and I can use that as a representation of that, you know, with the helmet and just. But I feel the same way as most of you guys. I would leave her there and just not touch her. I'm too afraid. I don't know if it's gonna chip. You know, we drop things. Things happen.
It doesn't work for me. I like to play
trying to
with
put
mine,
these wings on, or yeah. So I mean, yeah. Anyway, so but you know what? We did talk about this again, but I want to bring it up because it is pretty. It kind of came out of nowhere, and this is the Iron Man. I think Sean, you got that over there, right? The Mark IV suit up with gantry.
Yep.
Yeah, that. Can you scroll that? Yeah, there we go. I mean, this. I wanted to talk about this just because I didn't actually get some of your guys' opinions on it. So, you know, can I just start from the bottom here with Brother Cousins first and kind of just see what your guys' thoughts are? I mean, it is a quarter scale. It's not die cast. You know, I think that price range for the whole combo set's about $1,000. So, I mean, what are you thinking about this?
You know, I do kind of want it. I think I kind of want to get it. I don't like the fact that it's not die cast. I know. It's talking to me. I know, John. They talking to me. Devil on my shoulder.
Same here.
And then I'm thinking about the space but that gantry is just going to be so damn massive. But that's just so appealing too. And I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to get this. I know my wife is like, where the hell are you going to put that? I think I kind of want it. I wish it was diecast, but if it was diecast, that $1,000 would easily become about 15 easily with, you know, how detailed that gantry is. But
they might even go 16, 17.
Yeah, seriously. But this is definitely Hot Toys listening to the community, really having their finger on the pulse, knowing that statues are kind of like the new wave right now. A lot of people are really jumping into them J&D statues, and this is a way for them to, you know, jump in like, hey, we could do big stuff too. So especially a piece like this. But I think I'm gonna get it. I'm definitely gonna get it.
What about you, Will?
Talk yourself into it.
Yep.
John, man, he can be very convincing. So it's those poses, bro. It's mesmerizing. That's what it is.
I just switched to red background so I could be like you, Will. So
is that all?
What is this? What we're doing here?
Yeah, man, full Sith tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah, did they put this up for pre-order yet? I don't think they did, right? Okay, yeah, because the thing that I'm really curious about the price. I think it's probably going to be around $1,000. I would think US dollars, maybe even more than that. So for me, this is definitely a no-go. I mean, even if it were like $700, I still wouldn't buy this. But it doesn't mean that it's not great. It's just I like Iron Man. I'm not like the world's biggest Iron Man fan. I have a few of them. Like I have the Mark 7, I have the Mark 50. I'm getting the Battle Damage 85, and I'm getting the Mark 5, and I think that's enough for me. 4 Iron Man is plenty. And the Mark 4 to me is not really one of my favorites. If they did a Mark 6, for example, a Mark 6, that might, you know, appeal to me a little bit more. Or maybe even a quarter scale Mark 5, right?
I want a quarter scale 85.
Yeah, that would be cool too. Yeah. Or maybe they do like a quarter scale. I mean, they did a quarter scale Mark 3 already, but maybe they remake the 6 scale Mark 3 and die cast and do it a little bit better than they previously have done it.
That was die cast.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't very good in my opinion. That's the problem. Yeah, like cause I've seen pictures of Mario, and I would love the Mark III. It's one of my favorite suits, and I really wanted to get it. But then I saw, even with it being diecast, I was like, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's on the shorter side. It lacks the articulation and some of the details of some of the newer ones. But it does need work.
I think at one point maybe they'll revise that one and remake it. But as far as this one goes, it looks great. This is a really cool display. This is going to take up a lot of space, but if you have it and you really love Iron Man like John does, then for sure this is definitely a really good buy. I mean, it still is kind of different for Hot Toys, so I like that. I mean, they did a Mark IV with gantry before, but now they're going up to quarter scale, creating an even bigger presence, and they're going back to their cash cow, which is Iron Man. So like Denobi and others have said, anytime they're in a pinch and they need to make money, release an Iron Man. That's
just print an Iron Man.
Print an Iron Man, it'll print money, right? No matter how many times we've had it, they'll just make another version and it'll be fine. But I can't deny this piece looks incredible. It has a ton of presence. It's not for me, but I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with it. But all the quarter scale Iron Man have sat for a while. all of them.
True.
And this is going to be the most expensive of all of them. So I think you're going to have an opportunity to not pre-order this if you're in the States at least, and then wait and see what happens and wait for some decline in price or a coupon or something. If you're out of the States, obviously you don't have that luxury in a lot of cases. But in the States, I think you could be patient on this one if you do want it. Just kind of see how it turns out. Dante's right, bro. Yeah, I'd get it, man.
I'm sure you'd get it.
You already have a third scale, man. Don't
it's
you want to
half
go for
scale,
scale?
Mario.
Right,
Oh, it's half scale. Oh, excuse me.
Half scale.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd love a third scale though. That'd be nice.
Yeah, but there would come a point where you would have too many Pennywise, right? Is that such a thing?
Point. No.
No. You'd have a whole room dedicated to him.
No. At that point, it might
you'd have a
weird.
shrine, dude. You'd be praying to him every freaking night. Oh.
Exactly, bro. That's when it gets weird, right there.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Desi, man? What do you think about this piece?
Mark IV is one of my favorite suits. Not my favorite, but it is one of my favorites. But this is huge. It's nice. I probably would have made the space for it if it was die cast. Not that there's nothing wrong with plastic. I'm sure it's going to be great. It is excellent, but I think I would have made that jump if it was die cast. That's just me. But I think this is going to fill a space for a lot of people that are looking for a quarter scale Iron Man, in particular one with the gantry, right? I didn't see this coming at all. So this is pretty neat. And I know we were kind of separately, but we were mentioning the height of some of the older die-cast Iron Man. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're that short. I just think the new ones are way too tall. But that's just me. Sometimes I'm a little crazy, I know. But Robert Downey Jr. is not that tall, man.
Yeah, but here's my question for you though, because I'm curious, because you mentioned that if they went die-cast, you'd pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So at that point, wouldn't you not just consider getting a statue for that price of the same figure, or is it because you want to be able to pose him?
No, I have a quarter scale Iron Man, the old Sideshow classic comic cat. Actually, that's quarter scale. But no, this is cool because it would be die cast and you could pose him. You know, it's like an old Voltron or something. That's pretty neat. And then I'm talking about the gantry too. Both the figure and the gantry would be all metal. You know, so that would be pretty neat. I know that'd be like 2.5K, right? But that would be something else, right? So,
and that's a pretty big price tag for a Hot Toys brand.
Yep, that's fine. I mean, if they make it quarter scale and it was engineered and it was all die cast, I'd say it's Hot Toys. But you know, if Toyota puts out a Ferrari, then hey, they could charge me like Ferrari.
Right? No, I agree. I agree. John, so what about you, bud? I know, you know, it's part of your name, bro. So what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah. I was thinking about it, like Iron Man for me is like Pennywise for you, Will. So that's for me, I'm just lucky that Hot Toys make a lot of what I'm really into. So I think I'm, you know, like, so I'm pretty lucky there. And I do understand that. So for me, like, I don't have a Mark IV. So, you know, I'm in the quarter scale game. I've got Mando coming. I've got the Spidey already, and I'll probably get the other Spideys. So I really enjoy them, and I really like the size and the fact that I can articulate them, which is different from a statue for me. That's just more what I'm into. So I'm excited about it. I would like to see, you know, a little bit more on it, just to see what it's like being plastic. But for now, I'm a yes, for sure. It's something that I want to get. I can imagine that in the middle of the Moji case with all my other Iron Man around it, like a big shrine to Iron Man. I like creating shrines to my characters with multiple of the same figure. And I don't get a lot of different figures, so I get a lot of the same characters. So for me, I'm super pumped to have the option to get this in the collection. Yeah, man, I just think it looks cool, and having the gantry, like for me, Iron Man, when he's working on his things in the movies, when he's, you know, building the suits and doing all that stuff, I love that's nostalgia for me. You know, that's what got me back.
Well, that's a big part of Tony Stark.
Yeah, like so that's
like
the
his
connection
character
I have with it. So I'm like, I want to have something like the gantry. That to me, that looks sick. Like, and I think I'll be able to do some cool poses, and I just think about the stuff I can create with it when I get it. You know, what videos can I do? What poses can I do? And I think about not just having it in the collection, but what can I create with it? Because I like having the figures to create stuff with them as well for me. So I get excited for that. The fact that it can do a ground and pound, and I'm like, okay, what can I do that I haven't seen?
Right.
You know, with a quarter scale. So that's the stuff I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about getting these. So, you know, for me, the more Iron Mans, I'm like, if I don't have it and it looks epic, you know, I'm just really lucky because I'll probably get it. Sorry, everybody else that's sick of Iron Man, but
no, that's what's great, man. I mean, if you love Iron Man, like that you get like that's what's so cool about it. There's so many different styles and properties that, like, and I mentioned that last night again on Will's. I'm like, they're not gonna make it if it's not if it's some no name, unbranded, unlicensed thing. These are licensed figures with all decades worth of history, and and
look, there'll come a time where they don't make him as much anymore. There'll be a time, down the road when he's forgotten and there's other things like there'll be a time when it stops. All things they're not going to make Iron Man. I don't think they'll make Robert Downey Jr. Iron Mans forever. There'll be a point in the film industry where we've moved on to so many different characters there'll be a new thing, like Spider-Man's becoming the new Iron Man. There'll be a time when it stops. So I'm just enjoying it while I'm in it, and while
that's a good way of looking at it too. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because you're right. Eventually it may, I mean, we laugh and we joke about it, but with the days of they're just going to print Iron Mans, but at some point they may not.
It's sometimes, and there'll be a new Iron Man, or maybe there'll be a new Iron Man, or maybe there'll be Ironheart, or maybe there'll be someone new. But like with Cap, for instance, they're not going to be pumping caps out all the time now. So I'm enjoying getting all the caps I can, while I can.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Dante's wondered what quarter scale figures would we like Hot Toys to make, dude? I don't.
That's a toughie, quarter scale Howard Chan.
Quarter scale Howard Chan.
We'd all get
just
that.
have him tower over all the 6 scale figures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They made a Stan Lee, bro. They might as well make a Howard Chan and a JC. Complete the line.
A Stan Lee, yeah. Stan Lee would be sweet.
Yeah,
I would get that. I would get a Stan Lee.
I would take a quarter scale Stan Lee.
As long as it's not the
George
barber
Lucas.
Stan Lee, then we're good.
Or George Lucas. Yeah.
George
That'd be
Lucas would be cool. Yeah.
John Favreau. Come on, John Favreau. Give us a John Favreau.
That'd be
Happy
cool.
Hogan.
Happy Hogan.
Oh yeah.
Or Kevin Feige.
We already got a quarter scale Kingpin, so we're good. We can match that with everything.
Oh yeah. Well, then really, what about you then, Mario? Is this, we got a couple quarter scales ourselves, so I mean, you into this or what?
To be honest, I mean, I can appreciate the fact that it's Iron Man. I always love the aesthetic design of these things. The paint apps are phenomenal. I love I love how the red just pops on everything. It just feels like a car, in my opinion, right? All the details that they can do with the larger canvas in regards to like the different the paint apps, the light up features, all kinds of subtle details that are added to these things. They look phenomenal. The gantry as well, I mean, just adds that much more presence to the overall presentation. But me personally, I'm not really a fan of the quarter scale Hot Toys in general. I mean, even though I have the Vader right here, it's still, to me, it just feels like a giant toy, and I'm not really into that personally. While it does display nicely, that's just not something that I'm really interested in. Although that's not to take away, how well some of these things really, really look. But if I'm going to be dropping, or if I'm going to be collecting something in that scale, I want like something full polystone or polyresin, something more in a statue type, thing. But I can appreciate the fact that it's articulated. You can really make these things look really, really damn cool. But I think something that scarred me a while ago is picking up the a NECA quarter scale. What was it? A Batman Begins, and that I had all kinds of problems with that thing just taking a shelf dive. The ankles were so weak, and it just wouldn't want to stay up. And I really worry about this thing also, kind of because the base is just kind of wobbly in a sense. So I kind of for me, I just worry about this thing toppling over, and me being in earthquake country doesn't really help that much either. So I want something with like a little bit more added support. And for me, that's why I'm going to prefer a statue over a Hot Toy, just because of the flimsiness in some of these bases. It's a larger figure. I just worry about things toppling over. But like I said, that's not to take away the aesthetics of how these things really, really present themselves. But it looks great. It looks fantastic. I think it's well priced. John, if you can get in the collection, that's awesome. Same to you, brother cousins. If y'all can swing that, that's freaking awesome. I'd love to see it in your guys' collection, but it's not something for me personally.
I'd love to see John pose it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to pose some really cool
big ass Iron Man right there.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
like Will was saying, I mean, if you're fans, I mean, that's a great centerpiece. I mean, it's like 30 inches, right? Like wide with the gantry. And if you had other Iron Man to like mix through and like just kind of make this shrine, of Iron Man,
it will be a shrine.
It's honestly probably not that far off in size from Carnage. So
yeah, I know. I'm so worried about him.
That's why, like, I got Venom in my collection, Anthony, like, what was like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, damn, this figure's huge. And then I thought, how big is Carnage going to be?
I know.
Like, he's like 3 or 4 inches bigger.
Yeah,
so I was like,
my
I don't know.
thoughts.
He's going to be massive.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
Because you remember, I've had Venom day 1, and then when Carnage popped, I was like, and I didn't see the movie, so my first thing was like, why is he so big?
Right.
And then how the hell am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with him? I was like, Venom's huge.
Right.
Carnage is bigger. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Is Carnage gonna be as tall as Thanos?
I think he's taller.
Dude.
Jeez.
I think he's like an inch taller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why is he that tall? I haven't seen the movie. Why?
He's like 17.
He's kind of like Venom
inches?
size. Then he eats the head of like a priest or whatever, and then he just grows like 3 feet.
It's crazy, dude.
So.
Before we move on from it though, Sean, come on, man. Toku Collector.
Yeah. No, I think I will have to get it. I don't have many Iron Man right now. I have at least like 2 and 1 War Machine, but if I was gonna get at least 1 quarter scale, I think this would have to be it. I was always looking for quarter scale Iron Man, and with this coming out with the gantry, that's just the best way. Is that right there capsulizes a segment, a moment of time in the movie version of Iron Man, where everyone goes back to that memory of seeing him in the workshop, having either the gantry taking the suit off or putting it on. So I think definitely it has to be a must. If I can muster up the space, it's going to be a get from me.
Yeah, I knew you'd get it. As soon as I saw it, that's when I messaged you that night. I was like, yo, Sean, you got to look at this because
at first I was like, I thought it was like a 6 scale you sent me, and I'm like, oh, they're bringing it back. And then I looked at it was quarter scale, and I'm like, oh, that just nailed it right into the coffin for me. Is for a quarter scale, that's going to have to be the one.
Yeah. You know what? I want to bring this up really quick, unrelated, but what Dante's saying here with Carbonite Kid. I don't know if you guys communicate or whatnots, but I know his account on Instagram was hacked. And this dude has been trying to get a hold of everybody.
He messaged
so if
me,
you,
bro.
Dude, you should see the messages. I trolled him for like an hour.
You trolled him? It was like he was like, bro, can I have your number to send my password reset? I was like, dude, no. I was like, I don't know you.
No.
I'm Carbonite Kid. You seem like a cool dude, but the guy who hacked you, I was like, bro.
Yeah, so just be wary. Anybody's ever asking for that, tell them to, ask some of their real life friends or family or some. Just beware. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because some people can fall for that, and then you don't want to fall victim to just that crazy shit. So anyway, nice. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that's been happening over this past weekend, and I trolled the shit out of that guy. It was hilarious, man.
Dante said in the chat he only gave him his social. Smart Dante.
Oh, smart man. Smart man. Yeah.
They're playing the long.
What's this guy's name? Are we calling him out? Like, what's his name?
But it was Carbonite Kid. But it was somebody had his.
Someone hacked him.
Yeah. I don't know what Dante's talking about here. Share the real story. So we're gonna move on from that. But no, it wasn't me.
I only gave him my credit card, so we're good.
Right. So. Anyway, I know we don't have. Yeah, see, he said things that was funny because I showed him, man. Yeah, I trolled the shit out of this guy. It was pretty funny. Long story, but Now, anyway, so but yeah, just be wary and look. And I know John doesn't have a whole lot of time, so I want to kind of quickly go through this just because I was looking at some recent things that we haven't looked or talked about in a while that's coming like very soon. So just out of a quick panel discussion. And, in no particular order, you guys just feel free to let me know. Are you excited for Django? Are you picking him up? He's got to be around the corner, right? It's early 2022. So what do you guys think?
Absolutely. This is a must have in my collection. And just what's going on in the book of Boba Fett, he's right around the corner. So, yeah, I think when this drops, everybody's going to be on this. This just looks great. Got to get it. Got to have it in the collection.
I'm excited for it, but at the same time, it's like, God damn, another Mandalorian. I understand who it is. I understand it's Jango Fett. He's the whole thing that started the whole cloning process and this and that. But it's like, damn, I've been building up a lot of Mandalorians in the collection lately. So for me personally, it's kind of bad timing. I kind of want to miss a Mandalorian and then actually get it. But by that time, this thing will be like, it'll be delayed too damn long. But No, it looks great. I'm definitely looking forward to adding to the collection, but I'm just still Mandalorian out in a sense.
Yeah, I agree.
I've got them on order.
You do? I was gonna say, I mean, because I wasn't sure, man. Like, I know not everybody collects them all, and it's just like, well, yeah. No, I didn't hack them. Look, I don't know if you guys heard me the right way when I mentioned this. So no, I didn't hack them. Just be.
Why are you hacking people?
I know.
Yeah, I know, right? I just anyway.
Were you the module case guy too?
Dude, Anthony took down the Facebook servers. Like that was like however long.
That was
ago.
so messed up, man.
The real Edward Snowden.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyway, so what about you, Will? Man, you picking them up?
Yeah, honestly, great question. I don't think so. I don't know. I do see what Mario's saying. I really do like this figure. Now I can't stop laughing because I remember when this first came out and there were some people saying the head sculpt looked like George Bush. And I was just looking at that and I just thought of George Bush. I still don't think that's the case. I still don't, but I can't help but laugh every time I remember like Thor and other people saying that. Yeah, it's hilarious. But this is a really good figure because this is one I think they showed like 2 years before it was even ever announced. They kept showing it at Comic-Con every year. And people were like, what the fuck? Like, come on, like announce it. And then they finally did. So I was really happy people got Django finally because he's a very important, prevalent character, especially in the prequels. So, and he looks cool. I mean, he's kind of, he's mostly just Boba painted like blue, silver. So,
I don't see George Bush. What the hell?
I think it was a figure they had on display. Like, like conventions. And
one of the earlier...
I kind of a little bit with this photo. I kind of see it a little bit.
I see it a little bit.
It was one of those sideshow cons I think this year where they had him on display and a certain angle. It looks just like George Bush. It was freaking hilarious.
That's so good.
So, but I see what you're saying, Andy. But yeah, like it's a really good figure. I don't think I'm going to pick it up, no. But I know a lot of Star Wars fans are going to be very happy about this. So can't deny it. The weathering, the head sculpt, even George Bush, it still looks good. So
I'm still gonna find that.
But it's a really good figure. I don't think I'm going to get it though.
Well, Denobi says I sense Jango Fett getting the short end of the tap out stick when he
Probably.
drops.
Probably.
Yeah,
well, I never tapped in, so for me, it's a good choice. I can just tap out.
I'm not tapping out, bro, because it's Star Wars, it's Django, and it's like Max Geekdom said earlier. He's not just another Mando; he's the Mando.
Yeah,
he's Dada Mando.
Understandable.
In that respect, I mean, and that brings me an interesting topic, as a matter of fact, that I wanted to talk about because this is exactly on the line of what I was thinking. The style over substance, because this was something that was an interesting thing that Sean and I were talking about. And it was that, do you guys prefer to collect, just everything? If it's a hot toy, you get it. Or do you kind of limit it to better suit like how you display your figures? Because there are some people and, friends of ours, especially that, they just get everything. And then it can get kind of overwhelming. For certain people, like for me, that'd be too much. I feel like everything would be too crammed and crowded, and I don't know if I, because that's when curating comes into play. And it's just, I'm just curious. Like I love Star Wars. Do I pick up everything that has a Star Wars label on it? No, I don't personally. So I want to start with Brother Cousins on this one. I mean, what is your stance on that? Because I thought it was a pretty interesting conversation between us collectors.
That's actually a real great topic. Style over substance. You have to curate your collection because you can easily get caught in the trap of buying everything. You got to know what works for you in your collection, what works for your size. Take a look at your display space. Like, does it make sense to get a big 1/4 scale Iron Man if that's going to block you from getting other things, because that just leads you down a path to maybe one day selling it, and you don't want to be buying and selling things all the time. I mean, I buy and sell a lot too, because sometimes you just may grow out of stuff in your collection. But definitely you want to look at your display space and see what works for you and what you're passionate about. If you like Star Wars more than Terminator, then you will have more Star Wars stuff. But the thing is, there's more Star Wars stuff than there is Terminator stuff. So then you got to look at it how you want to work that out. But really get what's close to your heart. Like me personally, I'm more of a Marvel guy than Star Wars guy, so I have more Marvel figures. Star Wars, I kind of cherry pick. I'm more of an OT guy, original trilogy guy, but throughout the years, I've learned to appreciate the other properties. So I cherry pick those. Okay, I don't need all the Mando collection. I don't. But there's certain characters in Mando I can't live without. So that's why you want to do it. Like if you know you're really passionate about something, you want to complete that collection before you move on. I think that's just the best way to do it. Or if you have two great figures, or I think this happened to me. A good example. A couple years ago, I had the Batman '89 figures. I had the Joker and the Michael Keaton Batman. And I was looking at getting the quarter at the time. It was the quarter scale Joker from Hot Toys. And I was about to buy that thing. And then I thought about it. I was like, why buy that when I just need to complete this collection? Let me take that money, save that $500 and put it towards the '89 Batmobile to complete that collection. Now, I don't feel bad about missing out on the quarter scale Joker. I don't, especially now with all the great statues and everything that are coming out now. So I totally don't feel bad about missing that out. So you just got to know what really fits your collection, what fits your style, and take it from there, because you can easily go broke and they'll just keep producing shit.
Oh yeah, I agree. Now, can you fit a man of Hot Collectibles in your collection? I wonder.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's happening, Dante?
Dante, you're showing off the Pennywise, bro. I don't even have it yet. Like, he
is.
Yeah,
there you are.
Great video, by the way.
Yeah, it was amazing, dude.
Yeah, great.
Mine should be here tomorrow, and then we'll do our posing video.
Yeah. I'm selling this one though. If you guys want to, let me know.
I'll take it.
I'll take it right now.
This is the first time he's here.
So listen, the reason why I joined is because I want Anthony to share the story of the Carbonite Kid.
Oh wow!
He hacked him. I know. Yeah, he's the one who
did. I didn't.
I want to know the trolling part.
It's not appropriate for tonight's panel. Let's put it that way. But it was pretty funny.
It was pretty legit to me, man.
I sent you the pictures, right? My texts.
You gotta send them to me, Anthony. I want to see that.
It was pretty funny.
You guys read it too?
So what I'm getting from this is, if you ever get hacked from anyone, just send it to Anthony to have him just deal with it.
Anthony will troll him.
There you go.
I will.
Yeah. The guy,
I'll mess with him.
As soon as I got that text, because I know Carbonite Kid, he would not say stuff like that. He was like,
"Nah.
Oh, I'm gonna send you a link, and then send it back to me." I'm like, "Oh, this kid got hacked right away." I knew it was hacked, so I didn't respond. And then he did the same thing with Easy, same thing with Fabio, I think Will, and a lot of people got messages.
Yeah, I got it too.
And then Anthony showed me the conversation. I was cracking up. It was funny. How's it going, guys? How's everything going?
Yeah, I was making up names, and I was like, "Oh, so Buchanan and Nancy? We met at the Christmas party," and he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, look, I'm really uncomfortable with you, man. You touched me unappropriately several times that night." I was like, "I don't know if you were drinking, or I mean, is that I'm not really into you like that, bro." He was like, "Calm down, man."
He was about to say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to."
Yeah,
he was brainwashing this kid so much. He was like, all right, I got you. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You know what? But can you give me the number or not? He was like going and going and going. I was just
it was great. Man. It was great. Since you just popped in though, but let me just ask you then, Dante. Like, you kind of caught the back end of this. I mean, like, what do you prefer when you collect? Just to get, I mean, now I know we do reviews and what have yous, but like for your personal collection, do you want to have everything? I mean, I know space is a factor, but you want to be more stylized with it, or are you just grabbing everything?
If I would have the space, I would pretty much get everything, man. But I don't have the space, so that's a fact, right? I'm more selective. You see certain figures I don't get, or if I get, I just do the review and then just part ways, because I don't, I love Star Wars and certain Marvel figures. I like horror, and that's something that I start doing. And I didn't know I'm gonna get traction because I was thinking, I don't know if too many people will like horror. But then I start seeing people actually liking it a lot. The other day with Will, we got like almost 170 people watching for
Yeah.
Pennywise
It's like
only.
180.
Yeah,
bro.
that was
Yeah.
crazy.
180 only
was crazy.
Pennywise.
Yeah.
We didn't speak about anything else but Pennywise for the whole hour and change.
Mhm.
And you can tell, like, people like to see different figures. You know, we love Iron Man. Yes, we love Star Wars figures, Luke Skywalker, you name it. We love those characters. Yeah, don't make me wrong, we love them, but we need other ones. We need other characters. We need like other, Pennywise. We need like Freddy Krueger, Jason. Those
Yeah.
one-offs are actually pretty good. Think about Alita. Alita came out
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
good, super good articulation. I love the accessories. Then we got Hellboy. The movie was trash,
Yeah.
but the figure was amazing.
Yes.
You know, Pennywise. Look at this. So these are the one-offs that for me, I don't know if it's a pattern, but Hato has been doing a really good job with those one-offs. Look at John Wick, for example, like the amount of
Yeah.
accessories that figure came with.
Yep.
You know, so it is a lot of things that we need to kind of like tell our friend Howard Chen, dear Howard, we need more than just Star Wars and Marvels. You know, yes, we love it, but one-offs. But yeah, I will definitely get a lot more. But space is a big thing
factor.
for me. Yeah.
I agree with that. John, I'm not sure how much time you have left. I know you can't stay the whole time, so let me just go
I
get to
gotta go.
you, or do you have to go right now?
No, I'll say my piece and then I'll have to go.
Okay.
All
right. Yeah. So what's your take then?
I kind of sent it in on a chat yesterday to you, Will, on your show, mate. But for me, I just get the characters that really speak to me. So I'm not completing any lines or doing anything like that. Like my collection is more about creating shrines to my favorite characters and things like that have more of a meaning to me. In that sense, I kind of forego on figures that I probably would like to get if I had the money. Like for me, I guess it comes down to financially as well. If I was in a better position, maybe I would probably get a lot more. But I'm trying to be smart on my spending and not get myself into the hole or anything. So I really just go with what speaks to me and what I have more of a connection with. So like things like Cap or Iron Man, Spider-Man, Mando, Batman, Superman, things like that. They speak to me a lot. So I kind of just get multiples of those because I have an idea of what I want the display to look like. Or for Mysterio, for instance, I got 2 drone packs. Because I have a vision for the display of how I'm going to have him surrounded by drones and everything like that. So I kind of plan it for that, as well as like making videos for them as well, because I like to do posing videos. And,
that's more style.
Reviews,
that's
more style. But if I had more money or I was in a better position, I'd probably get a lot more. So at the minute, it's more just sticking with my favorite characters, knowing what I really like, what speaks to me, not getting caught up. And I'd say a bit of advice for people: don't get caught up on getting everything or trying to keep up with the Joneses, or like your review, Dante, on Pennywise, amazing. Like it looks great, and I love the movies.
Yeah, it was.
And you guys have nearly talked me into it, but like then I remember I'm like, it's not something that like. If I was going to get it, I would have known I was going to get it when I saw it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how you see something and you're like, I'm getting that. Or you see it and you're like, maybe I'll see. If I'm maybe I'll see, then I'm probably not going to get it after I reflect on it and think about it. Because if it's not something I see and instantly go, I want that, where I'm at right now, then I don't get it. Because if like the quarter scale alignment, as soon as I saw that we're on the stream, I knew instantly I wanted to get that. And that's how I know right now where I stick. If I see it and I'm like, I have to have it, then I get it. If I see it and I'm like, I'm not sure at the minute, I'm not going for it. And then I'll wait down the road and see how we go from there. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's a good take on it, man. So, I just want to say real quick, because we got 42 people in here watching. Before you go, is there anything you want to say? Anything coming up on your channel that you want to address to everybody?
So I've got a Ronin video I'm working. Oh geez. What?
Yeah, you're up in front. You're right in center, buddy.
Right
front and center.
I've got a Ronin video I'm working on right now. I do. That's going to be a 10-scene story style posing showcase. So that's where I tell a story verbally along with each pose, and I did that for the Hawkeye. So let me know if you guys like that type of thing. It's just something different I'm trying to do. So I'm telling stories through pictures and now through words. narrating over the story to the posers. So that's something that I find interesting. I'm also going to be doing a cap one with all my caps, and from Take Your Position yesterday, I'm doing a kind of a chucking some of those poses into a video that I'm going to do. So I've got Take Your Position every Sunday with Lael on both our channels. Every now and then we switch between. As I mentioned to you and Jay the other day, I'm going to be starting a cosplay journey where I'm going to be becoming Spider-Man, and I'm going to start a series where I am going to train for it, and I'm going to document the training, the nutrition, the recovery, everything that comes with trying to get in shape to fit into a Spider-Man suit, which is pretty confronting at the minute because I'm not quite in the best shape right now. So I'm going to document that, and my channel is going to take a bit of a different direction and have a bit of that as well as just figures and things. So if you're into that stuff, or you're looking for some motivation, or you want to learn a little bit more about nutrition and fitness and all that type of stuff, I'm going to be bringing that to the channel as that's something I'm into, and I want to start doing that a little bit more. And I'll probably kick it off with a stream where I start interviewing some people that are into cosplay, and just find out a little bit more about that world. So I know, Will, you're into cosplay. I don't know if anybody else on the panel is or not, but that's something I'm really into, and I've thought about it for a while, so I'm going to give it a crack and see what happens. And lastly, this Sunday, I think Sunday for me, Saturday for you, Mario, we're going to be doing Superman on Posed Up. My other show, right? Post a fellow
Yes, sir.
What Superman are you guys doing?
Very fancy.
I've got Justice League. So I don't
Same
know what
one.
you've got. Yeah,
Okay,
same
so
one,
you're
Justice
doing
League,
Justice
yeah.
League.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to do Justice
All
League
right.
Superman, chop it up, and get to know Mario a bit better. And so if you're into one-on-one convos, come tune in and check us out, man.
Absolutely,
Hell
bud.
yeah,
And it
looking
is a
forward to that one.
pleasure, as always, to have you among all these
Thanks,
amazing people tonight. Don't forget, the links are in the description, at the bottom for everybody here and everybody else in the community. Check out Iron Logan if you haven't already. I love what you're doing with your posing stories. It's cool. This Spider-Man journey sounds pretty dang cool, man. I can't wait to see it. I really can't, man.
Yeah, you're going to get to watch me fail trying to learn how to flip. I'm probably going to die. So
hey,
we'll
that's okay. Okay, local
Please be
Lou's up
careful.
in here. Look, he's how I'm fat and I cosplayed as Scarlet Spider. So and he did. He did.
Oh hell yeah!
So what's up,
Awesome,
Lou?
man.
Bud?
Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, John. All right, man. We'll see you on
All
the
you
flip
guys.
side, brother.
Catch you later.
See
Take care, man. Good to see you, bro.
All right,
Cheers.
see ya.
Catch up.
All
Bye.
right. Such a cool dude. All right. So we can get through on this one. Let me go ahead and ask Desi here on this question.
I curate, right? So I think I'm no different than anybody else. If I had, all the money in the world, I'd probably have all the space in the world. But right now, I just get whatever, in terms of Hot Toys, whatever design I like. I try to stick to Star Wars, right? So whatever Star Wars I like. And then if there's something that really pops out, like the Pennywise, I've got that on order right now that it's been released in Hong Kong. So that I'll get something like that, maybe something Marvel, something DC. But mainly I stick to what I like from within Star Wars, from a design point of view, right? So
yeah. No, definitely. Because I mean, as you can tell, like I'm Star Wars here, but I have other stuff in the other room. So it's a curating thing. But I'm gonna move on from that, and let's go to Will. I didn't ask you, did I? I'm sorry. I got a little confused with
no worries,
when
man.
Dante jumped in.
I know, man. Dante just giving everyone
Dante
his
fucked
social
me
and
up,
credit
man.
card number.
I know he's asking me credit card numbers and all this
know,
stuff and social
Don't
security.
ever
And
give your credit card number or your phone number. Social is fine, but now you're just kidding.
Wow.
Just send him a picture of the social card, social
I know,
security
right?
card, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give him like
Well-
your eBay login. It's good, bro. It's good.
Yeah, my YouTube login.
Yeah, right.
That's hilarious, man.
You should have done that. You should have been like, "No, I won't give you my phone number, but I can give you my YouTube login if you want that." Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you should have done that, bro. But I'm kind of like Desi on this one. Like I'm more of the curator. That's just kind of how I roll. But I don't have a ton of space in my place for collectibles. I mean, I have enough. I mean, it's funny we all say we don't have enough space, and when we look at it, we do have a pretty decent amount of space that we use for our.
We make it work.
Yeah, we always make it work, and then we always expand, and it just gets out of control. But it's funny. I mean, it's so hard to say because if you had more money, I think a lot of us say that we would buy more things. I think I would be the opposite, actually. Like, I really don't want things in my collection that I don't love, right? So even if I had all the money in the world, I could look at it and be like, yeah, like I'm glad I have a lot of money and I bought these things, but I don't really love them. So why would I have them? I'd rather not have them, honestly. Rather have the money that I would have instead, even if I was loaded, right? If I won the lottery tomorrow and won 50 mil, I still wouldn't want Thena in my collection, right? Like I still don't really care about that character. Like a lot of people do, or or some of the other like Spider-Man and Iron Man figures I just don't feel I need, right? So those I would still curate no matter how much money I had. I think I would still be pretty selective. I might have some more statues because those are a little more expensive, and there's a lot of statues I really do like. But I can't have everything, mostly because of space and money, right? But with those, probably I'd have a little bit more, but I'd still be curating, like Desi said. Like I'd because even if you have all the money in the world, you don't want your house to get overrun, right? Where like you have nothing else except collectibles, and like you don't even have a bed after a while, right? Like it's like or you're getting rid of your guest room and changing into a collectible room, which is fine, but after a while, it starts to hit a point where it's like, how far are we going to take it? So that's kind of, I think, the realm, I think, of finding that balance, just kind of how I tend to collect and how I just live my life in general. I feel like if I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel out of balance, I cut back and draw down a little bit. So that's kind of how I do it. But that's just me. Everyone's different. If we all had a lot of money, I think a lot of us would buy more shit. But for me, I would definitely still go the substance route. I mean, we all want our collections to look stylish, but at the same time, it's important to, I think, maintain a healthy balance, in my opinion. So that's just me.
No, and that's exactly why I want to bring this up, because as collectors and content creators, it's interesting to see and what other, viewers and, the community think and what their opinions are and what, they think are, you know what I'm saying? Like it's because some people are new to this too, and they have no idea. And they think, oh God, I got to get everything. And then you're going to find out really quickly that that's just
I
not
can just tell you,
sustainable.
Anthony, like I'm dealing with that now. I mean, like there were a lot of things when I told you, like when I never created an Excel doc from my pre-orders, right? And I just pre-ordered all this stuff, and then eventually I made one. No, you're not, Dante. Don't lie to us, Dante. Don't lie to us. But I created an Excel doc. And then I eventually saw the pre-orders I had, and I was like, God damn it! So I canceled like 5 or 6 that day. Like, and I was like, there's no way I can feasibly get all this. And even now, like I've got it down to where I still want everything, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, it's just kind of like a weight on your shoulders, right? Because, I have like $6,000 in pre-orders tied up over the next 2 years, right? And that's not a lot to some people based on how much we spend, but it's just kind of like a weight on you. And I feel like those are the kind of things that can get you out of collecting real fast, because you can just feel the stress of that where it's no longer fun. Because then you're like, oh man, it's like having a mortgage, or having like a college debt payment, like a loan payment, like. And after a while, that's why I say like it starts to get like. That's why now I just encourage people not to pre-order unless it's a limited edition run where you have to, because then you can make the decision at the time. Like when it's released, you're like, okay, do I have the money now? And payment plans are still great. I mean, I still do them, but I'm just moving forward. I'm kind of moving away from those myself. Just that's my take on it. Everyone's different, but I think it's real easy to get in over your head in the situation. I've done it. I think we've all done it at different points. So trying to avoid that in the future is my route.
Always have a spreadsheet.
Yep. Spreadsheet is essential.
It's very essential. Real quick, Dante, Local Lou is asking you a question.
I need you to say wepa for me, bro. Wepa. Hello, que papa.
All right.
That's Nate's word. The wepa.
Brother cousins. Same question, buddy.
To say wepa? Just kidding.
No. Unless you want to.
Oh, Stella was something. I thought. Did you go to me already?
Did I?
I think
Dante messed me up, bro.
No, what? Dude.
You did.
Really?
You did. Because actually, no, because I texted him. I was like, let me wait for Brother Cousins to finish and then I'll bring you in. I'm sorry. Mario.
Oh, boy. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B for me, man. I mean, depending on if it's like a one-off and anything outside of Star Wars, it's definitely style. Because I absolutely have like an idea of how I want to display things. But when it comes to Star Wars, I kind of lean towards the FOMO side of things. I mean, considering how long
like
I've
if
been
it's got the
collecting,
brand on it, you get it.
Pretty much. I mean, because the thing is that I've been in that time to where I've collected stuff. I had a focus, right? When I first started collecting, I just wanted original trilogy, right? And then Rogue One comes along. I'm like, you know what? I really like this movie. However, I'm just going to get just some of the hero figures just because the Stormtroopers I've already got. Later on, after when I decide that I want to start collecting more of that line, and then the prices are just insane, I was like, you know what? I want to try to pick up everything that I can while I can at retail. So when it comes to Star Wars, my mentality, even it's it's the wrong. Please, guys, everyone, please don't do this. Please don't be like me. I tend to pick up whatever I can, pretty much everything. I have almost everything Star Wars related on pre-order right now when it comes to the Hot Toys figures, and everything else that's one-off or Marvels or DC. It's extremely selective, right? So, yeah, I'm just the wrong person to ask about this. Personally,
No, that's good though, because a lot of us are irrational. And I'm not saying like you're irrational, but you know what I mean? We're just like, well, we don't care. Like you said, that FOMO, you're like, oh, okay, for us, it's like
Gotta
Star
fight
Wars.
it, bro. Fight it.
Yeah, hey man,
It's hard.
Easier said than done, bro.
It is.
It really is.
Well, it's
really
like a
is.
drug after a while. That's my point. You know, it's like a drug,
Yeah,
and it's hard.
I wouldn't
to fight
take it. I wouldn't take it that far, but you know.
I mean, it can become that. I mean, it can become
Yeah,
an addiction
yeah.
where, like, if you can't stop yourself, then it's not good. You know, so.
Yeah.
No,
But-
like if
I've
it
been
came
there.
to the point, like after a couple years, if I'm like, you know what, okay, I'm cool. I really don't, you know, I've let this sit for a while. If I don't like it now, I don't believe I will. So I'll go ahead and just let it go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's fair.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
you do
so.
sell
Fair
stuff
enough.
a lot, so yeah, like
Right,
you
right.
trade things in and out. You're really good about that, and your shippers are pristine. So
Hey, yeah, you got a double box, man.
double box, baby.
Right?
All the time.
Well,
Yep.
Local Lou's wondering, Mario, that would you agree that Star Wars is a different type of animal than Marvel when it comes to Hot Toys and third-party figures?
I would definitely say so. I mean, there's a lot of us there that we're just so tied to the franchise. It's so beloved to us. You know what I mean? So it's like no matter what comes out of, and Hot Toys has it nailed in my opinion for the most part. I mean, all the trooper designs, in my opinion, the way that they their iteration of it's all top notch. So yeah, I would say so.
I agree with you. I'm in the same boat. Like, you don't really want to listen to me, because if I want it, I'm just gonna get it. I'll find a way. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like, but it's all about that lane too. Like, but I'll leave my final thoughts after this. Let's go to Sean here really quick. Toku Collector. I mean, what do you think, man?
Oh, I mean, I think it differs between on what you can or what you can't do. Some people may be able to go out there and get everything, because I've seen both sides of collectors. Is people who get everything because they just love it that much and they can. But generally, for most of the people, you collect what you like. Like, you may like Star Wars, but you may not like every character in Star Wars. So I find myself that it's a little easier on me to collect more of what comes to you. Like, I like Star Wars, but I don't like every character about Star Wars. So I'm going to be selective when I start getting some Star Wars figures. Same thing. I like Marvel. I like DC. Anthony knows this, but I'm selective on the ones that I'm going to get a part of my collection. So I'm more of a pick and choose type of collector. There will be some that I will have to get all, like if it's like a set people that are supposed to be together, that's going to be a thing. Much like how you got your OT over there, Anthony, is that's how I look at it. Like, that right there, you have the main people, you got the main heroes, you got the main villains. I'm not going to go out and get like a bunch of different troopers and side characters that didn't really appeal to me. So that's more just my side. I'm just going to be a little choosy on what I get, but it still will represent the aspect of what I like.
Right. So, like, for example, like Avengers or something, or the MCU, like, you would probably be more inclined to just get like the 6 original Avengers from the MCU versus the entire like Endgame line or Infinity War line.
Yeah. Like, I won't get like every Marvel figure or every Avenger figure, but like the original 6, and maybe because I'm more of a OG comic fan, I would love to get Ant-Man and put him in there, because that was one of the things about the MCU that they didn't get right. But exactly, like, there's going to be certain characters, certain groups of characters that I feel are more important and within a certain more achievable frame of attaining.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think we all are kind of in agreement there that, I mean, it's just, we all have different interpretations of it, but at the end of the day, I think we're all kind of like, we just get what we want and not necessarily feel like we need to pick up everything, because there is a lot of that out there. I mean, I think we can all agree there's a lot of this FOMO, like Mario was saying, and over time, I think we learn, or we get better at, being more educated on, okay, well, is this really going to sell out? Is it something I absolutely really want? You know what I'm saying? How's this going to fit into my collection? And not just grab it just because you're afraid that you're never going to get it again. And you might not even really be that interested in it. Like, you're just trying to be a completionist.
Right.
And that's really difficult to do, especially if you're bouncing between lanes, right? Star Wars, Marvel, DC, whatever.
If you're gonna do that, you have to be in that one lane. If you love Star Wars that much and you're gonna collect everything that releases of Star Wars, then stick within that lane, because once you start veering off into different things, you're gonna start you're gonna find yourself missing out on some figures.
Oh yeah,
it's true.
Absolutely. So, well, with that, I did have another topic that I wanted to kind of bring up here, and I think I'll probably start with Will on this one, because now that we're in the new year, is there any one particular thing, right, that you would want from Hot Toys to do a little different or improve on this year? Not necessarily what figure are you hoping for? I'm more about the company. Like, is there something specific in an area that you think they can improve on, or that you would like to see?
Yeah, and I think probably the answer that most of us are going to go to are communication and transparency. Those are probably the two biggest things. And I mean, they are, like, I think like Optical was saying, they're a privately traded company. I mean, they don't owe us that, really. I mean, I think they should do it, but ultimately they can continue doing business the way they want, and we're going to keep buying, right? Because all these shows, there's so many live streams now, we all talk about Hot Toys primarily, right? So they know they don't have to do any marketing, because we're going to market for them. So, and they don't really have to communicate much, because we're going to communicate for them. Whether it's the message they want to get out there is the question. But I would like them to just be more honest and transparent about what's happening, especially with delays. Because with COVID, you're still raging on, and all these delays, every figure, I mean, most of them at least are getting delayed. Like, a lot of them are getting delayed. So, like Pennywise, like Dante and I know, it got a little bit out of control, right? I mean, like, it was like a year of delays, basically. So after a while, maybe like say like, hey, guys, we ran into an issue with the Pennywise, something with the sewer, with the base. It's going to come out maybe June of this year, right? And then if it gets around May, like, hey, guys, we thought about June, but let's give you another update and say, it's going to be around December, right? So we're still working on some stuff, but at least some kind of update. We might be upset in the moment. Yeah, what's up with the delays? But at least we know what's going on. It's better than being completely in the dark where we know nothing, right? We know basically it's coming out eventually, and that's it. And they have enough figures on pre-order and releasing that we'll forget about it. They hope we'll forget about it, right? Because like, oh, well, we'll drop a Doc Ock and they'll forget about that Pennywise, or we'll drop a new Spider-Man, they'll forget about it. But a lot of people, like Dante and I didn't, we know that. So definitely. So things like that, I would say transparency. Maybe with the topic too of the proto to final, maybe if you have to take longer communicating with that, syncing release with movies, that'd be good. They did that with Venom, and they did it with Mando season 2, so that worked out pretty good. But it's not something they typically. And they did it with Black and Gold Spider-Man. That didn't work out too great. So, because it was very inaccurate. But I will say, other than that, I mean, just making sure the proto and final are pretty much close. Like, I think they really did that with Battle Damage 85 Iron Man. They really delayed that one and took their time to get that one right, because they knew if they F that one up, people would be rioting in the streets.
Right.
Probably the most important figure they've ever made. So, to get right. So that's why they nailed it. It's proto quality, if not better. Like, it's incredible. So for me, I think maybe just ensuring if they are going to delay something, communicate why. Just saying, hey, the head sculpt was getting a little bit softer. We want to make sure we met the proto, kind of like Queen Studios does, right? They're pretty good about that. So it all ties into communication and transparency for me, and just making sure the final product is pretty close to what we paid for.
Those are all valid, very valid points. And I agree with all that. I think we all probably do as well. Transparency definitely being a number one. But Dante, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, you've been in this game for a while too, bro. I mean, you got to have some kind of desires, that you want some, from them this year, something different, something they can improve on.
What was the question? Sorry, what was the question? I have to jump because my wife came with the groceries, so that's why.
No problem. Do you have to get going?
In the snow, bro.
Well, I have to help, It's
okay.
Freaking cold outside. Shit.
No,
anyway.
Oh, did you just do it? Is that what you're saying?
I just did it. I just did it.
Okay.
That's why I put my camera on.
Dante.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure. Yeah, no, I was wondering what's one, what's at least like one thing that you would want from Hot Toys to do differently this year?
Everything. I think
tell.
I think I mean I think it's not fair for the collectors to wait 2 years for a figure. I don't think it's fair for us to pay off our figures like long in advance and wait another 8 months to get it. I think they have to do something in terms of shipping, because again, we know Sasha is a main player here in the US. They're trying to coordinate stuff, but still there are delays. They're still waiting for figures. We're still like, they can get the reviews beautiful. Bravo, you get your reviews right away, but what about the figure for the collector? That's what it matters the most. We don't.
Right.
There you go.
I'm a collector at the end of the day, right? I don't care about the freaking review. I want to get the figure.
There you go.
It's paid off already. So those are the things that they need to change, and they need to talk more, man. Like they don't need to tell us exactly everything they're doing or everything they're planning, but just mention that whatever. These are just drop a picture like what they did with Wonder Woman, at least, right?
Mhm.
At least we know that was coming. Just do the same thing like before. They used to put a picture with all the figures lined up.
Backstage.
And you write the backstage,
Yeah.
and you will know what figure will come next, or try to guess which one is gonna come next. But at least you know what's coming, right?
No.
That's what they need to do more, because at the end of the day, we're collectors. We pay a lot of money for these figures.
I think your
And-
camera went out, bud.
They need to give us something. I think the best.
It's an anonymous.
Yeah, your camera went out, Dante.
I think I say something.
Yeah,
It could be
disguise his
anonymous.
voice, Anthony.
That's fine.
He is not the one.
I can't disguise his.
No, listen.
Yeah.
I think what we need to do is, instead of waiting like 2 years, we should have they should have a time frame of waiting. Like I think within 6 to 7 months or 6 to 8 months will be perfect to wait for a figure. I think they've done it before. Like look what happened with those exclusives. They're quick. Do the same thing. If you have a prototype in the works and you release the prototype, it's because you already know what you want to do. So why waiting 2 years for it? So that's how I would say.
No, again, good, dude. I think we're all on that. Let me just some bouncing around because I know we got a lot here. So let me just redirect Mario that way, pass through Sean. Same question, bud.
Yeah, no, both of you guys make some valid arguments. I just don't see, as far as an expectation, I really don't see that happening. I mean, of course, to Dante's point regarding the lead times, I think that's just something with the factories that are still just trying to recover from what's going on with the lack of workers that they have available, amongst other type of production that's going on in these same factories as well. So, I mean, you outsource other factories. I mean, I understand, do what you got to do to try to help get that backlog out, because I definitely agree. It's just taking way too damn long for all these figures to come out. We're looking at 2 years plus now, when before it was just like a year, if that. So I would say like probably kind of like take their time a little bit. I mean, as far as like, no, don't take up so much of a backlog. Right, don't try to put out so much product, yet concentrate on what you have coming out. But at the same time, please stop teasing us with shit you're not going to release.
There you go.
Thank you.
How many times have we seen at a con where that something is possibly coming soon when it never happens?
That's
Preach,
right,
brother. You're full screen on this one.
So-
Tell them how you feel.
Go.
I mean, come on, please. I mean,
Dear Howard
stop.
Chan, baby.
We don't need
Look at
this.
the camera.
I'm trying to. Dear Howard Chan,
That's it.
please, if you don't intend on releasing a figure, don't freaking show it. You do
Yes.
not need to get the collector's hopes up for something that's just going to be vaporware down the line. All right? Just stop it already. Stop it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Please.
Proud support you,
Stop it.
Mario.
Yeah.
The crowd supports.
Also, while
you.
I'm at
That's
it,
right.
I mean, can we please have a little bit more,
Star
a little
Wars.
bit more R&D into as far as better materials and stuff like that
There
would
you
be more
go.
durable. That would be nice. I mean, I've had some tragedies this year, which has really made me second guess about why am I collecting some of these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, please do something. Please do something. I'm begging. Please.
I think
Congrats, Mario.
Mario brought a really good point about the material.
Yes.
And this is something that, yes, we don't know now, sometimes we do based on what we experience with a figure when we're doing the review or whatever. But the way this is going, and I can be wrong, but the way this is going is certain figures have a really awesome look, but the material is very questionable. But not only the material, but also inside of it. Like the quality, I think, lowered. Like some bodies are better, some bodies are worse. You know, sometimes you can feel that it's weird, something inside, but you don't want to like push it to the limit because it's a brand new figure, brand new suit. You don't want to break it.
No.
But I think at this point, for the amount of money that we're paying, they need to get the shit together, man. Like they need to give us a better quality in terms of outfits. Like, I mean, I don't want to have a Spider-Man figure to do a museum pose. I'm sorry. And it's only few Spider-Man figures that you can actually do really sick poses because yes, you can do it right off the bat, but leave it for like 4 months and see what happens. That's the problem, right? You can do it right now. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't. You can absolutely do crazy poses, but then if you leave it for a long time, man, that's gonna be horrible, destroyed, right? Same thing with seamless bodies. Same thing with the fat suits. I mean, why doing that? I mean, if you're gonna do that, just make some cuts in the joints or make some. I mean, people does that for customization. They do it like so quick.
Yeah,
do something like that. You know, I think the quality. Yes, the households are getting better, but the quality they're using for the bodies and some of the materials are very questionable.
Yeah,
that's why I'm worried about that Ahsoka.
Because
she has the Mando one, because she has seamless shoulders and arms and all of that. So like if you move her shoulders or arms, like you could rip
even if you don't move your shoulders. I mean, how many times have we seen those same materials just sit there in museum poses that over time they start shredding, they start
Wonder Woman
busting open. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's that's the problem. I'm sorry, Anthony.
No, go ahead.
And that's the problem because that's why collectors cure the collection. Because okay, for how long I can be wrong. This is the way I'm thinking. If I get, for example, Wonder Woman, this one that just came, I honestly think that we are gonna have a lot of issues with paint chips. You're gonna see a lot of collectors posting on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, something like scratching the paint or some paint chips when they're doing this or when they're doing that. It's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be an issue because they just didn't know how to freaking do this thing in the first place. Yes, they had a prototype. Prototypes are like made of like tape and whatever. They're not like the final product. I mean, if you look inside the prototype, you blow it, it's gonna fall apart. I'm serious. But they spend so much time perfecting the head sculpt, so much time doing the nice weathering, nice silhouette, so it looks amazing. But then put that shit in final product, in final production. That's the problem. That's why we see this Wonder Woman. I mean, I'm not saying it looks horrible, but honestly, to me, it's a decline. The prototype look amazing. I mean, even the shape of the mouth is different.
That's
like
true.
It's too big. The head is too big. There's no really neck. We were complaining about Pennywise neck. This one has no neck. So it's like I'm telling you, like I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I think we're gonna see a lot of issues with paint chips on this one.
We'll see.
Well said.
Wow.
I'm out.
Yeah, it's it's you know what? Hey, listen. Look, I agree. I agree with everybody here, and we'll go a little. We'll wrap that up after we get to everybody. But Brother Cousins, I want to get to him as well because even though it's not Hot Toys, you already had a similar situation happen right behind you with your Bill and Ted's.
Bill and Ted. Oh man.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, honestly, I'm just
here. I'll full screen you, brother.
I'm not having a good time with Blitzway right now. If you can see this right here.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I didn't know I had evil
Terminator.
Head.
That's cool. It's a T800.
Yeah, these are robot us's.
Yeah, it's robot us's. Evil Bill and Evil Ted.
And when you talk about, it's funny Desi brought up a T800. So I got the arm over there, right?
I'll bring it back up, sorry.
And the arm, and this is another Blitzway product, and the fingers aren't working. I'm not going to show it on camera right now, but yeah, the hand's supposed to move like this. When it makes a fist, it does this.
Oh, so it's fancy. It's
Pinky
a
out,
fancy
bro.
Right.
Pinky out always.
Pinkies up. Real men put pinkies up, I guess. But,
Right? Yeah,
but
like here,
so-
Gilbert just said, "Amen to that, brother. We need better materials in these figures." Rip to my Winter Soldier, it has flaked. Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
Hey, man, like your concept cap.
Yeah, my concept
Really?
cap like ripped.
Jesus.
And
yeah,
I
my
was
2-pack
like,
Vader's flaked.
Oh, did it?
The,
oh
Terminator
yeah, my
right
Vader's
here.
seen better days.
Yeah, man. So it's
Yeah.
Another thing I
Pleather.
wanted to jump on with Hot Toys is definitely, and I mean, you guys killed it. I mean, I forgot I was even on the panel for a minute. I was just listening to y'all. You guys broke it. I mean, no, definitely. I mean, I think the community and Howard Chan and the company definitely need to hear this. Scheduling, that's a big problem. I mean, and I'm talking about scheduling with releases. Like, it makes no sense that we got a video game Miles Morales and we get Gwen from Spider-Verse and we're still waiting for Miles Morales from Spider-Verse. They need to get better on that shit. I mean, we're collectors. We collect these things for a reason. It would have been nice to get those two pieces around the same time or at the same time, especially for how long people have been waiting for it. They definitely got to work on that this year.
Agreed. No, I'm same boat as you, man. I mean, it's just a little. The turnaround time is for me, but I'll leave me for last. Let me go ahead and get to Desi here, man, because like I said, I'm trying to get everybody here on the panel. We got a full panel tonight, guys. Everybody's links, by the way, are in the description below. If you haven't already, please go subscribe to every single one of us here, and be sure to hit that like button. And dude, seriously, with that said, I just want to get over to Desi and check your opinions out on this one too, because I know you got some things on your mind.
Oh yeah. But I think it's hard to follow everybody because everybody gave some such
I know
great
we all kind of
opinions
share the same opinions on that. Yeah.
But I've got three main things, right? Some of this is a little bit of what everyone mentioned, right? The first thing is project management. I know that there's shipping, catastrophes. I know that there's worker shortages. I get that. But a lot of their scheduling that we've been talking about and their delays from prototype to release, it's not all based on that. We know that. It's just poor project management. And I think we were also talking about transparency. They're not going to be transparent until they improve their project management. Why? Because how are they going to be transparent about them deciding, yeah, let's just not release Pennywise because we've got 3 Spider-Man and 3 Iron Man we want to put out because we need to make a profit now. Like, they're not going to tell you that. They'll tell you if something went wrong because of shipping, or it's like, but they're not really going to tell you they screwed up 300 times. Right?
No, they don't want to. Yeah, they definitely don't.
They're not
going to.
They're not going to be transparent. They can't be transparent until they get better at scheduling and everything that everybody already mentioned. Right? Project management. The other thing I wanted to mention is, as far as, hey, maybe they can't be transparent yet, but maybe they can communicate a little better. Just some things like you guys were saying behind the stage, right? Backstage. Well, why don't you get some of your artists to talk a little bit? Right? Just do some backstage while sometimes they release some pictures, but actually talk to them. And like interview them, like maybe not.
Yeah, like
YouTube,
they need like a
recording.
community manager, for social media or something to kind of.
Exactly. Send some pictures of the factory. Nothing that would compromise anything confidential, but you could you could release something. And then the last thing, you guys already mentioned it. You need to do some R&D on materials, right? I get it. I'll always argue the fact that some materials will just fall apart. Even the most expensive items in the world, and I'm not talking about toys, just in general, watches, cars, like they're known to their quality's not there, even though they're the most expensive versions of whatever product it is. But this is Hot Toys, right? So you need to do a little bit of R&D. You should be able to get some body materials that won't break apart after a while, and they've done it before. None of the ones I've had have broken, right? Same thing with pleather. I know pleather's a little harder and we do have to maintain it, but again, just some R&D on that. So just those 3 things is what I would say.
I want to piggyback on what Desi said, because he always brings good points about this. If they're going to include some type of material that over time is going to deteriorate or something, right? They should include some type of kit, some type of care kit. So you can use it, obviously not like a huge mass production, but they can include something in case, apply it every month or every 2 months, whatever, right? And then when it runs out, you can go to Sideshow, whoever is the distributor, to buy the same product to keep your figure, in a better shape, right? Or something like that. Some instructions how to take care of it, how to put, things like that. Or just move to fabric, because fabric will last. I mean,
Yeah.
the best figures we have with the best articulation are made of with fabric. Like Pennywise, oh my god, you can pose this guy
homemade Spider-Man
anything you
suit.
want.
Yeah,
Homemade
Spidey.
Spider-Man, the same thing.
Yes.
And those are perfect. Yes, of course, I understand that you cannot put a Spider-Man with with fabric when the suit is kind of shinier or different type of design. But I mean, we have the technology, they can figure
rebuild
something
them.
out. Yeah, I mean, we're not spending $50 or $40 or $20 for this. We're spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they need to treat this as a high-end product and grab the balls and say, this is what you guys need to do to take care of it. Not everyone is going to have the same issue because it depends on your room, right? If you have a dehumidifier or if it's colder, hotter, whatever the temperature of your house, whatever you put in your collection is, that also plays a good factor into it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's what you were saying earlier, and I'll get to Sean before I move on to the next. You bring up a good point that I actually was going to talk about was figure maintenance. But one of the things you said with that Wonder Woman, right? For example, as seasoned collectors, we can tell, like we don't have it in hand yet, but like you said, we're like, well, we're already kind of seeing that this is going to maybe have some chipping issues, things like that. And with us, I'm not going to lie, like maybe I bought it, right? And I like it for a little while, but having that in the back of your mind, a couple months go by, you may just sell it. You know what I mean? Right. Because we're like, in a couple years, this thing's going to be screwed. So someone else can deal with that. And for lack of a better phrase, it's just, that's how you know what I'm saying? You're like, and I don't think like that's not good for anybody, right? Like, because like you said, you were buying these figures. We want to keep these figures. We're not in it for a reselling game. You know what I mean? If we get rid of them, we get rid of them for other reasons. But to buy something and know, this isn't going to last, I should probably get rid of this. I mean, what do you think, Sean?
I think the same thing with that is one of the biggest things that as collectors are asking from them is we're not spending for like Black Series. We're not buying a figure that's nothing but plastic and molded. We're spending anywhere from $250 to $600 up to $1,000 for high-end figures that are more collectibles in display purposes. With that, they should be able to maybe just take a look and do some research on better materials that last longer, things that don't crease as much, or materials that tend to still be posable but are malleable, that can go right back with barely any little damage. I like Dante's idea of them giving you little care kits, because what we're going to go into next is most people probably don't even know about that. They just have a figure, pose it, maybe keep it in a pose for a little too long, and then they're just like, I don't know what happened to it. I didn't touch it. Why is it breaking, or why is it damaged? That right there, I think, is the biggest thing that they got to work on for the rest of the year. And like someone else in the chat mentioned it too, is like on some of these figures, like, the die-cast Iron Man and all that, they have lights and electronics in them. We have better technology when it comes to lights and all that. I would love to see them work on that as well. I, for one, I don't have them on because I hate the batteries. I hate that you have to take the whole figure apart, put in the batteries, and the batteries eventually wear out. There are other items out there like soap boxes that you can wire, but then you're stuck with wires hanging out of the figure. I've seen technology of wireless power that for lights and stuff like that. I like them to do some research into that too. Not just research in the fabrics, but researching some newer technologies that will help increase collectors' range in what they can display. That's all. Like, I think that's some of the things
the electronics you bring up. That's a good point. Because I think often, how many of us actually power up our Iron Mans or use the lightsabers?
Exactly. I told him, what if he had some sort of wireless technology where you could just set them on a base and they automatically just light up? I would do that
Right.
all day. Yeah,
Well,
that'd be awesome.
just like the lightsabers, right? I've done the CCFL lightsabers in some of my Hot Toys, right? Because I'm never going to go in there, replace the arm, to put the battery in for it to last 4 minutes, because that's how long those batteries last, right? And
Exactly.
but I mean that's a lot of work. They should. It's not only about the materials, right? It's what you guys are saying. It's some engineering of better electronics, better like internal bodies, right? Like anything with a like what was it? The Vision. The white Vision, when they posed it, it has his and they had him up during Sideshow Con or something, and his knee was, they had him posed flying and his knee was bent, and it looked like he had a catastrophic knee injury because like it just doesn't bend right. Like, and a lot of people say, well, why don't you pose your figures? Why are they in a museum pose? It's like, because when you pose them, some of them, they lose that that illusion of being like a real
That aesthetic,
proportional
real
body
person.
shape,
Right.
so not all of them, but some of them.
No,
You know what's
yeah.
you know what's funny? Like I was thinking, like, can you imagine if they do a better technology for the Iron Man and with the lightsabers, man, those figures would be like 450
Yeah.
each.
The lightsabers would be better. Well, you saw Dante, the Mark 1, they did USB light up. Perfect. That's
Yeah.
like,
Perfect.
you don't have to deal with, like Sean said, those pain in the ass batteries. Like, no one really puts those in because they don't last long and they're a pain in the ass to get in and out. So it's not really
But-
worth. Same with the lightsabers. I don't like popping the
Yeah.
arms off to put the batteries in,
Yeah,
and they're not
that's
even that
a
bright.
risk.
So
That's
like, I never put the batteries in for the lightsabers ever.
Well,
Or
we're gonna
Iron
get a bunch of Iron Man reissues now when they're all gonna be USB powered.
That's what I was
That-
thinking too,
that's
because
the
we
next
got
problem.
the
Gonna happen.
what,
Yeah.
They
what's
will.
the
They
other
will.
one?
They will
right?
eventually.
Yeah, didn't they release that Iron Man just now, or announced it with
The
the
Mark
suit
1.
up? Or, no, the one that's like suit up version.
I don't think.
Oh,
it's
the
USB.
Silver Centurion.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Silver
that one?
Centurion's
I thought you meant
USB.
the Mark 5 suit up. Okay.
Yeah, no, the Silver Centurion is USB.
That's USB.
Just
Yeah.
imagine how cool it would look to have all your Iron Man displays,
Yeah.
everything light on.
Yeah.
Right.
That would look sick. Or your Star Wars figures with the lightsabers on.
Yeah.
That would be sick. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about like batteries or anything. You just with you put it on your wireless thing and just with your phone on and
Light on.
off.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
great.
But it will come with a price.
The lights do add so much realism, but it's just not worth it. Like
It's
the
not
way they
worth it,
currently
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Like Mark 50, man, getting those batteries in and out will take you an hour.
Yes.
Like
That's-
I did it the one time. I was like, okay, they work. Let's take them all out. It took like another half hour.
without
dude.
without taking into account like how many times those batteries fly.
Right.
Oh
Because
my
when-
You
God.
have
my
those
God.
little like
Those
prongs
plastics,
and you're
when
sticking them in
there's-
there and then it's like shooting out. Yeah.
painful, man. Those are
Oh, it got to the
painful.
point where I'm like sweating from
I
anger.
know. You don't want
I
to
get
break
stressed
know?
out, especially
Yeah.
like when I did the review of Mark 85, the battle damage one. I mean, I kind of knew because it's pretty much the same thing as the clean version, but I was thinking, freaks, I have to put the batteries now. Like,
Right.
okay, I have to do it because I have to show people, right? But if I don't have to, man, I would definitely not put it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll leave it.
Yeah.
Like I take out most of my accessories from all my boxes and I store them in different containers so I could just, because I like, I take photos and pose a lot, so I don't want to go dig through boxes. But I'm telling you, out of all my boxes, every Star Wars figures, our lightsaber arm is still in the box. I don't even bother taking that shit out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel like we're losing, we're getting bottlenecked by these things because, whatever you pay for this, it's like, in my head, I'm just like, well, can you just sell a cheaper version without the lightsaber arm? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't even use the shit.
No
and
one's
that's
using
unfortunate.
those.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad, man. But that's funny that Dante brought that up because this is actually a question. So I actually want to start with you, Dante, on that. Do you have any tips to everybody here tonight of anything that you do to maintain your figures, if anything at all?
I really don't do nothing crazy, like I just dust my cabinets like once a month, but other than that, I don't leave my figures in crazy poses. I'm more like a museum pose guy, even though I like to do like nice dynamic ones, but because of the space I can't do so many dynamic poses because it will take a space like crazy. Maybe when I get my mojo cases, I might change, the poses for all the figures, and I will make it look much nicer. But really not that much. I think that my advice to people is touch your figure. You don't touch your figure as much. Like yes, it's fun to have them. Yes, it is nice, but don't change the poses every week or every day.
Yeah.
Because no matter how careful you are, there's always a chance that you might break something. Let's say you want to use a different hand and you break a peg.
I've done it.
I've done it too. At the beginning, when I got my hot toys, I was posing them every week. I was changing poses. I would say twice a week, changing the poses.
Yeah.
And you have no idea how many hands I broke. No idea. So now what I do is I put a pose and then just leave it there. I like to put a pose that I know I'm gonna be comfortable with long term, right? Again, this is just me. By all means, I'm not saying that I'm right. If you do that every week, whatever, it's perfectly fine. It's how you keep your collection. Just let me clarify that. Me personally, I like to just put it, leave it. That's it. Don't touch it often because you might break or damage something without you even wanting.
Well, I mean, hell, even I made a mistake that's still collecting related, but I have a quarter scale, as you guys know, the quarter scale premium format Vader statue, the older one, and I just decided to move him one day. And I had forgot, that saber's really long and it just happens to be tipping on the side of the wall. And when I lifted it, it was kind of heavy, and I just kind of jolted a little to the right. So I zigged when I should have zagged, basically. And the tension pulled on the wall and I cracked the saber.
Ooh.
And I didn't even have to move it. I was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to put it over there. And I messed up.
I was there, and it was pretty loud F-bomb.
To Dante's point about handling your figures, I just recently
less than a quarter of an inch he moved it.
Dude.
I'm sorry, what, Mario?
Mario?
To Dante's point about handling your figures, I just recently went through that with John Wick, right? You figure it's something you really can't damage, but it's actually the buttons that are on the cufflinks, on his outside. Those things are a bitch. They fall off. I was just doing a posing session with him, actually on CW when we were doing pose wars, doing a bit of a dry one, and I used him, for my figure, and I was really nervous about some of the buttons falling off, and sure enough, one of them just became loose. So I'm looking at it right now, and one of them just dangling there for dear life until I glue it back on. So just stuff like that. You just gotta be careful of.
Just because, again, you can pose it, you can do whatever you want with your figure. I'm just telling you that's my advice, right? Because I broke stuff. You have no idea. I broke a lot of things because of that, and that's where I say, you know what, I can't do this because because I know if I want to do another pose, I might take the peg the wrong way, or maybe it's too rigid, and I don't even know a boom is broken. And those are the pitfall because if you don't have the little thingy to take it out, it's a pain in the butt.
It is.
And sometimes you end up breaking other things because let's say you're grabbing it and you're trying to push it, and then when you do that, you take some a button off, or you break another part of the collar or something. It is delicate figure. It's not meant to play 24/7.
Exactly.
Because it is not. It's a reality. Yes, it's an action figure, but it's a high-end collectible figure. So
it's not like a Black Series.
Even when I do my poses, man, when I do the pictures, man, you have no idea how much I sweat. And especially when Fabio sent me his figures to do the reviews, man, I really don't even want to touch it because I broke stuff from it, from his stuff.
Wow.
You know what?
That's the reason.
Real quick, I wanted to bring this up because TokuCollectorV was asking if we should use leather conditioner. I noticed Max Geekdom also said 303. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this stuff. And again, it's just like Dante, this is just me. I actually use this 303 leather conditioner. Even though it's not leather, any figure that has that kind of pleather material to them, or that real, they're a lot of rubber where I feel like their joints can crack over time, things like that, I apply a little bit on a rag and I wipe my figures down. I'll take time, like Stormtrooper stuff like that. Not really, you know what I mean? But your Spider-Mans, things like that. My for example, my Red Skull, I condition his jacket. His jacket's perfect. I've never had a crack, tear, nothing, peel, nothing. And he's like 10 years old. No problems. I mean, I'd go grab him, but it's irrelevant. Just take my word for it. He's fine. Now I don't know if it's because of the 303, but I'm gonna believe it is. So again, this is my opinion. I mean, don't take my word for it. If you guys want to, because I don't know if there's a risk involved, but I've never had anything, personally happen to me while using that product. None of my figures have degraded. Like I said, I've had no issues. So it's that's something to bring up because I don't know if do you guys use this at all or any
bleach?
Yep.
No bleach.
100% bleach. It's the only way to go.
Yeah.
I'm terrified to apply any type of chemicals
pods,
to like my fingers.
Agree.
I just go over
100%.
down to the local hardware store, muriatic acid.
I know, but you know
Works
what?
like a charm.
This is the thing. I agree with Mario on this one. I really don't like to put anything on my figures.
Yeah.
And again, it's just personal preference. It might work 100% if it does, perfect. But me personally, I don't like to put anything because those products are not meant for the specific figure type. That's why I was saying, like, if Hatos include a kit, like a care kit for your figure, it's a different story. You know how much to apply. You know it's proven for that particular material, right? But instead of you using something that might work, but then it might do a damage over time, you don't know that, right? And again, this is just personal preference. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I never use anything. The only thing I remember for the Black Widow from Infinity War, I use some wax, hair wax that I use,
Right,
and trim it. That's what I did, and it worked perfectly fine. It looks so really good, But that's the far I went with that, And it was a risk because I knew if I'm gonna f this up, it's my figure, but end up actually making look much better. So I saw that actually. So
and I've actually done that with hair too. I think it was the first Avengers Black Widow, because her hair was kind of crazy on that figure. And, that was like early Hot Toys days. Yeah, that's like early Hot Toys days. I took some, and this is gonna sound crazy. I took some Windex, put it on my fingers, and just styled her hair a little bit, and I was able to manage the hair a little bit, manage the hair a little bit, just Windex, and that went a long way, and it didn't damage it or anything. So,
any other kind of things that you use, Brother Cousins, or tips for your?
Just harking back to something that Dante said, with posing the figures, I totally agree. Pose it when you get it in the pose you want to get it, just pose it and leave it sitting. Leave it there. Usually what I do is when I get my figures, I'll pose them. I'll find a couple. I'll pose the hell out of it. Honestly, I'll pose it for the first couple of days because it's new. You want to kind of play with it and everything,
right?
And
of course,
especially for us to do reviews and stuff like that. You do get your reviews, but while I'm doing that, I'm also looking at the poses, trying to find the perfect pose that I know I'm going to keep it in. And then once I get it in that pose, is there,
right? Like what Dante was saying, just you got it, you're good.
Exactly.
It's kind of like your forever pose.
Exactly.
For a while.
Yeah, for the first week or maybe the first couple of days, I'm playing, I'm enjoying it. But once it's in that forever pose, done. Leave it alone. And I probably won't pose it again until 6 months, until I get tired of looking at it. That's one good thing about having these figures is outside of having a statue is you can pose it. You change it up. But just be careful when you do it. That's the thing. With Iron Man, the thing is with Iron Man figures, they put so much R&D into those Iron Man figures, and most of them are die cast and hard plastic. You don't have to worry about that. So that's a good thing with those. But with your Spider-Man figures, Jesus, I agree. When using better materials to really show off these suits the way they should be showed off and being dynamic, they definitely need to figure that out. Definitely.
Yeah, because like I said, I use the 303, and man, I tell you what, man, when it's like I'm giving my Red Skull a makeover. It's like a shoe shine, bro. I'm telling you, man, when that dude, it's a shiny ass coat and it looks, you know what I'm saying? And again, I don't know. For me, I haven't had any issues. But Bob Dylan's wondering, Brother Cousins, are you part Greek by any chance?
A little bit. My background's all mixed up. Actually, more German. I'm actually German, a little bit of Native American and black.
Mostly space pimp though.
Mostly space pimp.
Mostly space. 80% space pimp.
80% space pimp.
Right. What about you, Will?
Yeah. So honestly, I'm kind of more with Dante this one. I have not done anything, to be honest. I've not done anything conditioner wise on my figures. I mean, I've broken my fair share of things, kind of like you guys have done. I've broken a wrist peg, or some of my statues, like I had to glue one part back together. I had the Darth Maul premium format from Sideshow. So I had that hand, and the hand peg fell out and dropped on the carpet, and the lightsaber snapped in half. So I had to glue that back together. Things like that will definitely happen. But as far as pleather and stuff go, I've not done anything. I haven't had any flaking so far. I've always heard that it matters the humidity about where you're living and what your collection room is like. So for me, my collection room stays pretty cold. I know Lael's talked about this too. His is like below 60 degrees. So like his stays pretty cool down in his basement. So that probably helps him. He's never had an issue. Mine probably stays pretty cool. It's probably in like the 60s, 65 or something like that. I haven't had my figures, I guess, more than a couple years. So I haven't had, really to see the longevity of them. But all my Terminators are still kicking strong. I mean, Winter Soldier, Loki, all of them with pleather materials are still going strong as far as I can tell. So I've not done anything. I've heard of that 303 before. I've never actually used it. I'm thinking about it. I've also heard sometimes it can accelerate the deterioration. So I mean, like I've heard both sides. I've seen both experiences. So I don't know. That's a really good question. I'll leave that one to you guys. I would say I've not done anything so far. I think it's more about the room. And Jay knows, brother Cousins, Maryland's pretty humid. So it's a pretty humid environment that we live in, but I've not had any issues because my collection room stays very cool. So I think that would be my biggest suggestion. Make sure wherever you're displaying these figures, it stays cool. And if you can have them behind glass, that's ideal because you can reduce the amount of dust you have on them. You don't want to be dusting your figures too much. And one thing I can say just for your display, like someone mentioned Windex. Windex your glass displays from time to time. It really does help bring the whole thing to life.
Yeah, it
does.
Because
you'll get like fingerprints on your DTOFs or your cabinets or whatever. Windex them things. You'll feel like you're looking through like crystal clear glass. It really brings the display to life. And then also just clean out the inside of the display from now and then. Make sure your lighting's good and all that kind of stuff. That's more the maintenance that I do, more so the display stuff, because I actually haven't had to deal with any deterioration yet so far. So I've been very lucky, but I might walk downstairs and see my Winter Soldiers peeling. Who knows? So, but as of now, I've not seen anything.
It's interesting just coming into your display and just seeing like your Terminator coat.
I know, just like
all
the dust.
Yeah.
Because
well,
I have
again.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying because Mario had the same kind of thing, like you guys were just talking about.
Yeah, right. Because I have the only Terminator I do have though, I have DX13, I have Tech Noir. Tech Noir doesn't have any pleather parts as far as I'm aware, so the DX13 does. So we'll see how that shapes out, but that's a battle damage anyway, kind of like Mario's T1 figure, so it's really not the end of the world. But I haven't had any issues yet, and Winter Soldiers, like I said, has been fine.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, Denobi brings up that point. I was going to ask you that as well. Hot Toys Instructions warns against high humidity. It's in the print. I was wondering that myself because here we have like no humidity. So I didn't know if that was a factor, for me. Like you said, like you haven't tried anything and you've heard that some people have had, quicker degradation with using, other applicants on it. I haven't, but I'm in a place that's like super dry. And I also like to, keep things cold. I'm like a polar bear, dude. Like, so it's always cold in here and no humidity. So I didn't know if that was maybe a factor. A lot of people who have experienced this type of degradation, if, are they not in a low humidity area? Is it too hot? Sunlight's a big thing too, right? You never want to have your figures in direct sunlight.
Yeah.
I know some people have it like near a window or some of the windows casting light in, and that's,
keep sunlight out of there for sure.
Yeah. That's like a huge thing. So, I think, did I ask everybody my apologies? Desi,
I was going to say I use 303. I've been using it for like 6 years without problem. I've also used other things. I've used Mod Podge. I've used, Angelus coats just to try it all on different things. And they've all worked pretty good. The one thing about humidity, and Denobi was mentioning it, the Hot Toys does mention it in print. I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but I would say that, is it really the humidity, even though it's in print, or is it not the humidity? It's the fact that it's drastic changes, right? Maybe they're saying don't put it in high humidity because once it's in high humidity, eventually it's going to have to come down from high humidity. And it's those drastic changes that may affect it, right? And I say that because the only problem I've ever had, actually, Anthony, was with my Red Skull. And it was back in 2015 when I had to move, and in between one house and the other, I had to put everything in storage. Yeah, the storage was climate controlled, but climate controlled in Miami. I mean, with high humidity, it's just like, look, the climate's not going to go up to 95 and 100% humidity, but it was still like 81, with high humidity. As soon as I pulled my figures and that Red Skull out of storage, and it was just there for 15 days, all of a sudden it had a small little crack on the pleather of the Red Skull.
Oh, wow.
Whereas before that, it was perfectly fine, and I inspected everything before it went there. That's the only figure that anything ever happened. And that was back in 2015. That's when I started using 303 just in case. And then here in my house, in my display room, everything is controlled. Obviously there's AC, which controls humidity as well. But after that, never been a problem. So, and I say that the whole drastic, like the humidity thing, because usually when you have high humidity, you don't have cracking, right? Pleather cracking, you have mold, like mold forms. Usually pleather cracking, you'd think, oh, it's because it's dry. There's no humidity. And yet Hot Toys warns against high humidity. It's like, that's weird to me. Like, it is what it is, but it's been a question for me. Maybe it's more like the drastic changes between the two. I don't know.
Yeah. And we brought that up. I don't remember where. Maybe it was on Dante's. Was it with you, Dante, on your Between Collectors, which is Wednesdays, right? We talked about something where like just the shipping, right? Where they're coming from an extreme, hot to cold, even before the figure gets delivered to you. Yeah. Could actually have an effect on the contents of the box before you even know what happens.
Yeah, it's getting made in China, and I've been in those factories. I can tell you that there's no AC. Right. And the humidity is high. The temperature in southern China is very similar to like Miami. Right. So it's basically the tropics, even though it's not. Right. So it's very hot. Then it gets placed on a container, right, by boat. Guess what, guys? It's probably hot and humid there, too. Or maybe you're having it air freighted from Toys Wonderland or something. And all of a sudden it goes from that temperature to a really cold cargo hold on a plane. And then back, like it could put up with some extreme temperature changes, right? But only for a certain amount. And I think the older the figure gets, the more likely something will happen if it has drastic changes, right? So
look what happened. Look what happened with Grogu, Hot Toys with the extra chin. That's because it went from hot to cold, and it was more in later batches than the first batches. Because of what happened with the shipping back then, delays and everything. That's pretty much what happened. Some materials are not meant to last longer, and that's the reason why I brought the topic of the quality of the figure itself, not the head sculpt, but I'm talking about the body inside, the material they're using for the suit, all those things. I feel like it's not getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like it's trash or anything, but I think they just do, cutting corners. I think they're using something just for the sake of releasing it. But I'm guaranteed, if you take everything out, you're gonna see like the cheapest body you ever seen. How do I know? Because I had an issue with my with my Cody. I took him apart. That body is trash. Wow. I'm serious. It's trash. Like, I can get a better body, like, for $20, much better durable than that. It's trash.
So are you saying that? So Dante, let me ask you a question. Do you think the Hot Toys from like yesteryear, like from like the mid 2000s, were they using better quality materials than now? Do you think they're kind of getting cheap as they're using cheaper materials, trying to get over as we go along?
I think so. I think so. So the quality in terms of head sculpt is better compared to like 10 years ago, for example. But the tailoring is better, but not necessarily mean the quality of the material is better. The tailoring can be looking amazing, but that thing in 3 months is going to disintegrate. Just throwing a number right there. But you know what I'm saying? So it looks nice. Aesthetically, it looks amazing. But quality-wise, I don't think it doesn't match the price. And I seen stuff like that. That's why we getting more discussions about, oh, look what happened with the legs, with the touching the rubbery part, or spilling off. Oh, look, there's a pin chip right off the bat. Brand new figures that we don't even have here. So the conversation is there. So it's already happening. So it's not like we're making this shit up. It's happening. You see it. You're seeing it. Yes, some collectors are lucky than others in terms that as soon as you open it, something is off. Some of them is good, but over time it will deteriorate or get damaged. That's my point.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think what we're all saying, I think, are just valid. I think it's important to have constructive criticism and what we're, our expectations moving forward. Especially with Hot Toys. I don't think everything that everybody said on the panel tonight is like, they're all valid points. I mean, we just, you were paying a lot of money for these things. And while they are great, and we wish you to continue to innovate, but we want, communication's a huge thing, and being able to have an increased longevity to our figures. Like you said, it's disappointing. Sean said it when we all said it. You have a figure sitting there, and then all of a sudden you look at it and it's destroyed, and you're like, what happened? Yeah. Or you're like Dante said, well, if I'm going to pose it, put it away, and I don't want to mess with it, because the more you meddle with it, it's like it's just like you're putting more wear and tear on it.
Yeah.
So, and I agree. I think Hot Toys did have some, they had like this ebb and flow. Like in the beginning, they weren't all that great. Then they found their footing at some point. And then I think what happened was they may have gotten too big for their own britches, so to speak, with the licensing. And so they're like, oh, how do we cut down on costs? Because now we're paying a shitload, I'm assuming, for all these licenses. And now they have to ramp up production. It's all of a sudden, it's like, you're kind of an everyday guy working at a gas station, and the next day you're like a movie star. All of a sudden you have to adapt to this lifestyle. And I think they cut down on a lot of stuff. And while they do still do amazing job, I think, they've cut a lot of corners. And I think some of those corners need to be uncut. Let's get back to like some better quality.
I think it was Bob Dylan that said this early in the chat tonight. He was saying it's kind of funny that they're still using the glue they used when they were a third-party company. They're still using the same type of glue. Because it's ridiculous. And Anthony, I think this happened to you. You when you had Rex, the holster or something fell off on one.
Yeah, the holster fell right off the glue. I was like, really? Wow. Like the day I pulled it out of the box. So I didn't even bother re-gluing it. I just kind of blue tacked it on, very little amount of blue tack just to hold the holster there. But it's like, damn, really? Will just brought this to our attention. So Sideshow looks like, just real quick, this is now up for pre-order. So the deluxe version is
they were listening to us.
1,040, and without the gantry, $595, which isn't bad.
No,
but I mean, you're paying another $400 for the gantry. So
yeah, but it's the one without the gantry. Is that's still just plastic though, right?
Right. It's plastic,
yeah. No. There's no die cast here. This is just
okay.
Yeah. The only difference is one has the gantry, one does not.
All right.
So
as long as the pelvis, the panties don't go pink like the old plastic one I used to have.
Yeah, that's gonna be
pink panties.
Yeah. And that's what we're talking about, right? It's the same concept. Like, we don't know. Now imagine spending freaking over $1,000, and then all of a sudden your figure is going to just turn to crap. Bad enough we're spending $200-$300 plus on these. Now you're dropping over $1,000, and if you're experiencing that same kind of degradation, that's just, dude, I would lose my shit. So.
That all said, I have to say that I've had pretty good luck with the figures that I've had, crossing my fingers. The only one issue is the one that I mentioned, the Red Skull, and I think that was more on me for putting it in an environment, even for 15 days, right? But I've had good luck. Even I'm looking at my my Alien 3 dog Alien, right? That was from 2008, maybe 2007, and it's an entire rubber body. It's still perfect, and I don't even have that in a D12 because it's too big. So I'm lucky to say I've had good luck with it. But yeah, going forward, I think I agree with Dante. Maybe their materials in the process of R&D, maybe their materials look even better, but they maybe don't last as long.
Damn. Yeah. I was just pulling that into checkout on Sideshow. They give you a shipping estimate. Shipping's $43 and tax is $62. So you're paying $11.46 out the door.
They should just add that.
Damn, bro, that's an amazing piece. But that's
so
a
now
lot,
you're actually
bro.
at like $12.50.
You're paying damn near Prime 1 prices. Yeah.
But you're not paying that shipping cost though. Would you say it was $40?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're paying a lot more for shipping, brother Cousins, man. If you want to get a statue, bro.
Right. If you get it from Sideshow, like, my Balder shipped for like maybe like $120 or something like that. So you're gonna pay a lot
Batman
more.
is almost $400 for shipping, man.
Yep.
Damn, that's gonna suck.
Bro.
Never mind.
Yeah, statue shipping is not fun, bro.
Well, that's Jay, that's 2 boxes though, dude. 2 giant boxes.
Yeah.
Prime 1 are a lot of times 2 boxes. Yeah.
Damn.
One for just the base usually. One for just the
I
base.
got spoiled for the jet with the Jazz Inc cockpit because I just remembered when I got the Jazz Inc cockpit, I got the one that didn't have the sound, and he actually ate the shipping for you. So that was sent. It was paid off for like a year already. So I didn't have to pay for the shipping for that. So I totally forgot about that. So, yeah.
Wow.
Ouch.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, I think it's a good time to wrap. You will agree? Yeah, we hit that 2 hour mark here. So real quick, I just kind of want to go through everybody here. I'm going to start with you, Dante, man, because I know you're a busy guy too. So you want to just, what's going on with you, man? You want to address the community tonight?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Nice to see everyone, you guys at home. So what's going on? So we have the Pennywise review is up, so you guys can check it out. Fantastic figure, by the way. I also put my top 10 Hot Toys figures of 2021. We're gonna have our first live stream on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're not gonna have Between Collectors this week because I have to work. So yeah, stay tuned for details. And that's all I have. I'm probably gonna have another review coming. I think it's Two-Face, because I have Two-Face. I haven't reviewed that one yet, and I think I'm expecting something else. I think Captain Marvel. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. It will come. But thank you guys for the chance. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year as well. We're gonna Russian roulette this one. So who we getting next?
Oh, second to Dante, bro. So Pennywise should be coming tomorrow. So Dante and I are gonna do a pose video. So we're gonna do one. There you go. Dante's so good at that. By the way, Dante, I showed a clip of you doing that to my mom. She was like, she really thought it was Bill Skarsgård. So you're really nailing it. So but we're gonna do one. I think it's either gonna be called Posing Wise or Posing with Pennywise, one or the other. We're still working out the name, but it's gonna be something we do. We're gonna do a live stream where we pose Pennywise, because mine should be coming hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. Collectors Mingle every Sunday. I got Lael's show Wednesday. And that's pretty much the gist of it. There'll be some other things along the way. I'm waiting for some statues to show up. I'm going to do a collection tour. I know everyone was doing their collection tour right at the end of the year. I'm going to wait till I get a few more pieces in. Sauron's on a boat somewhere. I don't know where he's at. He'll be here eventually. J&D Joker, and then Kratos and Atreus from Prime 1. Those are all paid off. So they should be here at some time, and I'll do a collection tour. And thinking about doing a No Way Home review at some point. I know I'm very late with that. But, I've already talked about it so much. And then we always do the game streams, which we got to get Dante and Anthony to join us. But Call of Duty, Battlefront, and Last of Us, things like that.
Hell
but
yeah.
that's it. Thanks so much for having me, Anthony. It was a blast.
Of course.
First time on the channel.
Of course. I know. I'm so glad we were finally able to get you in here, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Really let's see. Who we pulling next? Who's not paying attention?
Damn. There we go. As soon as I look down, damn it.
Yep.
Hey.
What's going on, bud?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, Anthony, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun tonight with hanging all you guys. Just love this. Love talking figures. Love it. Yeah, so this week we got the best of the best on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Still working out the it's probably gonna be a lot of people that's on this stream that's gonna be on that one. So yeah, look out for that. Also, waiting to get my Mark 85 in. Once I get the Mark 85 in, I'll do a review on that. Also, maybe I'll do a collection tour as well. Still working on some stuff. Yeah, just waiting to get stuff in, and you'll see me on a bunch of live streams. So it's been great.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm glad that you were able to make it today too, man. It's always a pleasure having you here.
Likewise, bro.
So we only got 3 people left here. Who we grabbing next? Oh,
the Professor himself.
And you're muted, FYI.
Yeah, I know I'm muted.
There you go.
Yeah, tonight we have a live unboxing on Collecting Weekly. Believe we're unboxing a Mary Jane comic cat, along with a Sideshow Tauntaun 6-scale figure, and some other statue that we've got coming in that we're unboxing tomorrow night. Collecting Weekly live stream, good stuff over there. This Friday night I've got Ins and Outs of Collecting, just my statue talk show. Thursday night with Lael, we're doing Uncivilized Scoundrels. We're basically going to be going over the Book of Boba Fett, episode 2 this week. So that'll be fun times. And Saturday, I'm here with Anthony. We're doing our review show. We're going through the Rogue One line and just giving our thoughts and our opinions on every single piece that's coming out. This Saturday, look out for K2SO, and that's going to be a fun time. Anthony, thanks for having me on as always, bro.
Oh, it's always, man. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, man. Let's pull up Desi, man. Let's just get up Desi. Hey, what's up, man?
Thank you, Anthony, man. Thanks for having me on. I just took a small break in December, but I started working on some commissions and dioramas yesterday again. So that's been fun to get back to that. So you'll see some updates from me soon on my Instagram page, Metamorphic Customs, and hopefully updates on other venues as well. A little bit of a secret there, but that news will be coming out soon, hopefully.
YouTube channel for Desi.
yeah you're gonna something just a showcase channel,
man,
because
maybe one day
you make amazing dioramas, man, and
thank
it
you.
would be cool, even if you did like short videos just to showcase a commission before you send off, or like, hey man, that's your work, man. Take pride in that.
Yeah, one thing I can say is I'm still learning how to adjust the colored lights, and that's why the room is pink behind me. So there's that. But more updates.
Oh yeah, brother. Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure having you as always, man. I'm glad you're able to make it again today. I'm glad everybody was able to make it today. Like, it's so cool that we're all together. Sean, I'm putting you on the spot, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I'm always here.
I know he's part of the crew here, but go ahead.
No, I mean, it's always fun doing these live streams and all that with everyone. It's been really great getting to know everyone in the past couple of months. I know I didn't jump on previously in the next year, but this year, hopefully, I might get some other stuff out, especially here with Anthony. I'm going to help him out, and he'll have some of my stuff. I think what we're going to be doing is probably later this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be doing we're going to try to do a weekly unboxing of just one or a couple of things that is recently brought in within this week. Of just, it could be anything that we got. It doesn't have to be 6-scale or Hot Toys related. It could be anything that is part of your collection that we normally would not showcase as part of a live stream. So anything that's part of like my stuff that I have here, or any of the stuff that Anthony gets, or anyone else wants to chime in, post what they got, we're going to be doing that later this week as well.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. That's something fun that we're going to do. Just like Sean said, it didn't matter what it is. If we happen to grab some stuff from Amazon or whatever, or just it could be a Black Series or just something. We'll just open it up and talk about it, and it's cool.
Can I real quick give a shout out to Bob Dylan for just killing it with the links in the chat, man? I mean, this guy, he's on it, man.
Do next, but go for it.
Really amazing,
Bob. He needs a raise, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, Bob Dylan is one of the best moderators ever. 100%. I want to thank everybody on the panel tonight for joining. It was an awesome time. It was really cool. Once again, that we were able. Our schedules are all crazy, so it's really cool that we can all get together today. Of course, everybody in the chat, I try to pull up as many people as I can. It's hard to go through every single person here that was here, so I'm just going to blanket that statement and say thank everybody for coming and checking it out. This community wouldn't be the community without you guys, and we just look forward to what's going on, man, this next year. I think we all brought up a lot of valid points of what we're expecting out of Hot Toys, and channel aside, what we're all doing, I think we're all bringing some new, fresh ideas to the community, and I just can't wait to see what all of you guys here are going to be doing this year. With that said, what do I have coming up? Well, with Mario, like I said, we're doing these reviews. So we're going to say them backwards, man, but all the Rogue ones, we're going through the lines, kind of an unboxing, posing session, talk about the figures. We got a lot of old school figures that I know a lot of people never really had an opportunity to see. So we can go ahead and revisit them now in 2022 and, kind of give our perspectives on them, and, whether or not we think you should go chase these figures, or, things like that, reasonable price, so on and so forth. So I think we got that going on. Obviously the streams are on Mondays. I'm trying to give this IG-11 away, man. That was one of the first things I'm going to do when I hit my 1,000. I got a sealed, still in shipper box. That's going out to anybody. That's my own collection. So, we're looking forward to that. And again, with Sean, we'll do the unboxings and some reviews when I have some time. It's just been a little slow, with work and what have you. So I'm a little lacking on that one. But dude, I had such an amazing time tonight, guys. So, and also I think Aries right now, he's back. I know a lot of people were messaging me like, "Where's Aries?" And Well, he was on vacation, so he should be going live. Actually, I think he might be live right now.
No, he's live right now.
Right.
So if you guys want to go peep him out, please go do so. His link's also in the description below if you haven't already. And again, everybody on this panel, subscribe to everybody, share their stuff, join their social medias. I'm on Instagram and Facebook group, 6 Scale Mafia. Dante forgot, he's got his 6 Scale Media Facebook group. Go check that out. What are you, 1,100 members now?
1,100 members, yes.
Yep. So that's fun there.
Let me say something real quick. I wanted to say this earlier, but Desi, that logo looks pretty cool, man.
Thank
New
you,
logo.
man. Thank you. A little bit of a new branding there. So
Yes.
New branding.
more to come.
Love it.
I check that out.
Love it. Yeah.
And that was funny because I had messaged you earlier today, and I was like, hey, man, you got another logo? And then boom, you're like, whoa. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I was still working on it when you sent me the message. So there you go.
No, it's absolutely dope, guys. So with that said, any other last thoughts anybody wants to say?
One more thing. I completely forgot about it. Spaced on it. We have the I Want Rex contest going. And that's on the channel right now. From the
Tell
top
us a little
10.
more about that.
Yeah, so I put out a top 10 of the year video a couple of days ago, and my number one top 10, I mean, everybody kind of guessed it. It was Rex. I think a lot of us could agree that was figure of the year. So I'm doing a giveaway of that figure. Once we hit 2,000 subs, I'll be giving away a Rex. So it's already paid for and already shipped and ready to go. So
Rex is so sweet, guys. That's super generous of you, man.
Awesome.
So, all right, guys. Well, with that said, then I guess we outie. So we'll see you all on the flip side. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.